Welcome, everybody, to the We Geek podcast. Today is February 11th. Man, the time has flown. Episode 184. My name is Adam, and as always, joined by my good friend Logan.
Hello.
Man, how you been?
Same old, same old.
Oh, yeah, busy.
Yep. Been
same here.
trying to catch up on all the Oscar movies I haven't seen. I'm down to, it's just like 3 or 4, I think, that I didn't see for Best Picture this year. So I've been trying to catch up on them. I got through half of Parasite, and my eyes got tired because subtitles. And it's just like, all right, well, I'll come back to this. It's fascinating. It's absolutely, I get it.
I don't want to know anything about it because I heard the more you don't know about it, the better.
Absolutely. I'm just saying it deserved it. Everything it won, absolutely well deserved.
Cool. Awesome.
But yeah, it's on like Google Play and Amazon to rent or buy or whatever. Do it. I'm serious. It's like 2 hours and a bit. God damn, it's so good.
Yeah, I saw it's on Amazon, so that's where I usually get my rentals and whatnot. So
yeah, for
sure. Yeah, and you gotta watch. You can't watch that like in the middle of the night either, though.
No, you need that was my problem. I waited till the next day and everything because it was like I had to get home from work and then watch Oscars. It was like 3 a.m. I was like, no, I'm not watching these. I can't start anything tonight. I gotta go to bed. Yeah. But there's a difference to me with like I usually watch things with subtitles just kind of because I'm used to it now.
Yeah.
But a movie that you have to have subtitles on, it's like it's exhausting to me, I guess.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta take a break. I want to go back and watch. I think it got like halfway, maybe. So I need to go back and watch the last half. But it's so good.
I think it's easier when it's like the closest I could ever get to that is like anime. Yeah. So like it's easier because it's usually in 20-minute chunks, Dragon Ball Z or something like that. But there's some killer foreign movies out there.
Yeah.
So absolutely, yeah. That's one that's right there on my list. Absolutely want to see. So I'm probably going to see it this weekend. But yeah, dude, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, no, absolutely worth it for sure.
Cool. I've been busy with Warcraft, so I've had no life.
Nice.
The stereotype is so true. I needed that. Oh man, my friend gave me just a little bit of wiggle room to get back in. Because usually, like, I'll dip my toes in and I'm like, okay, this is cool. But man, and I've talked about it last time we spoke. I am getting my corrupted gear, and I will save you someone's trying to call me. I have everything on mute, but of course through Facebook, when someone tries to call you, it lights up. But yeah, no, I'll save the details of what I'm doing, but it's a lot. It's basically like a second job, it feels like, but it's a lot of fun. I can't stress that enough. That I'm having a blast playing with my friend, and man, I don't know what it is about games that have just a check mark, or a whole box with check marks, and it's like, okay, I need to do this. I have a goal, got to set it out in the game, got to do it. Games with goals, I absolutely like clear, precise goals. I can't get enough of.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so I've been having a lot of fun with that. But yeah, no, I feel like I have my PlayStation now to like talk to people, like talk to friends. I use it as like almost like a group chat. Like they'll be playing Path of Exile or Smite or Destiny, but I'm like, nah, I'm gonna jump in Warcraft. Like I feel like I've checked all the boxes off in those games.
I know people still play Smite.
Yeah, dude, it's huge.
Yeah, fair
For some reason, a lot of my friends love it. They're constantly updating it. It's got a season pass like everything else. Yeah, dude, I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah.
More power to them.
Yep, been having fun with that. So, yeah, man. So, it's been a fun couple weeks. But yeah, nothing really. I haven't really played anything else. I've been looking at Control. That's $30 now, I think, on PlayStation.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. And I think The Division 2 is like $3 now on PlayStation.
Yeah, it's not entirely surprising.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but not surprising.
Right. But I mean, $3 is enough to be like, okay, I'll put that in my library.
Yeah, right. Basically.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, man. So I don't know. That's been my couple weeks. I haven't really done much else. What do the movies look like?
Box office this past week was disheartening for DC. Uh, Birds of Prey pulled in about 33 million and change. Not at all what they were expecting. They were aiming for 50, 55 at least. This was the worst opening for a DC, for one of the DCEU films, which is tragic because damn was it fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear it's one of the best.
It is a crazy fun, really enjoyable movie. It's just off the rails. Like, this is nuts. It's exactly what you want. You go into this, and you think, okay, it's Harley Quinn, so it's going to be crazy. Yes. It's Black Mask, so it's going to be fairly brutal. Yes. Like, it's arguably one of the best DC movies.
You know what I think of when I see that trailer?
What?
I just think of it's in your face, flamboyant, cocaine, just like a crazy fun time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
That's the idea I get from it. Like from start to beginning, or start from beginning, jeez, from start to end of that trailer is just like go, just constant like in your face. We're gonna have a wild time. That I gotta see that in the theater. That's on my list to see. Just like how I needed to see 1917 in the theater, I gotta see that one.
Yeah,
because it just looks fun. It looks like a fun time. That's how it comes off of the trailer. It looks like they're just having a blast.
Yeah, it's a ride. It's absolutely a ride.
Yeah, I saw that the guy who did the choreography for John Wick did this as well. So like, did you notice that in the movie?
I can, now that you said, I wasn't aware of that, but now that you say that, thinking back on it, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were saying the fight scenes were like inventive and like fresh.
Yes, very, very much so.
Which is awesome. That's what you want from that. I mean, that's what you want from like a punch in the face kind of movie. And like I said, I kind of even saw that in the trailer where they're hitting coke bags with baseball bats and like doing all sorts of weird stuff.
Yeah.
It looks insane. And Ewan McGregor, that just it looks wild. I don't know. The DC also does a good job in the trailers of syncing up the music to what's going on the screen. I don't know if it plays off like that in the movie, but
it does pretty well. The soundtrack and the soundtrack choices are just fantastic.
Oh, I love it. Whatever that song that has the Sinatra, they like sample Sinatra in it.
Yeah,
it's really good. It's so good. I like it. But anyway, I've only seen the trailer. I gotta see the movie.
Yeah, it's a ride. It's fantastic. Like I really, really enjoyed it.
Cool.
But
that's good.
Not bringing in the money for him, unfortunately. And there were reports that they changed the name of it to Harley Quinn Birds of Prey.
That's what I saw.
What happened was it's been changed Warner Brothers didn't officially change the name. What happened was it was changed in the ticketing systems, I guess to make it easier to locate for people who were just coming in saying, hey, I want to see that Harley Quinn movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the systems it shows up Birds of Prey.
Right.
Because that's how, movie titles work. You start with the first word, who knew? But right. I don't know, I guess people were coming in saying, hey, I want to see that Harley Quinn movie. And that was confusing. I'm not sure. I don't know why it was changed. I don't know what the logic was behind it. But...
I mean, to me personally, I think Birds of Prey is a better title. It's not as fun as the other one, but I imagine it's way more appealing to the general audience going there. And plus, it's a cool, it's BOP. It's a cool little acronym.
Yeah.
For it, and I liked that. But I imagine that's a lot easier too for oh, hey, let's go see Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. That's very easy, off your tongue. The other title, I could see that maybe turning some people off that are not, I don't know, the general audience, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because, I mean, it is the Harley Quinn movie.
Right.
It's not really so much a Birds of Prey movie. It's a Harley Quinn movie that
Right.
includes some other people.
Right. And I hear they're great.
The cast is tremendous. Like there's not a bad performance in that film at all.
Awesome. It's a shame. Yeah, it's crazy to think like, and maybe this is just a problem with the Warner Brother DC movies, is that over time people were just like, oh, we've been burned out by the first big goes of this. That the ones that where they actually turn it around, it's a shame that people aren't going out to see them, even though, from what I understand from people, from fans, from critics, from you, of course, these are much better movies. Especially this one. This one I haven't seen, but like it's, I things like Shazam, and it's crazy. There's like Shazam, Aquaman, this are just heavily favored over something like, if you would have said 20 years ago that those would have been better movies than a Batman vs Superman or a Justice League, people would have called you crazy, right?
Yeah, they absolutely would have.
They would have been like, well, that's odd. I would think that it would be the other way around for popularity, but yeah, no, I haven't heard a single bad thing about the Harley Quinn movie, Birds of Prey, and that's insane. That's crazy. But yeah, man, I definitely want to see it.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely it's fun. It's just pure unadulterated fun. It's so good. And I'll tell you what, by the time you get to the end, you're gonna think, okay, well, this has been a movie, that's really cool. And then they do one last thing with it where because you feel like they've kind of written themselves into a corner at one point, and then they get out of it, and you just kind of sit there and go, okay, so that happened.
Okay.
It's intense. I loved it. I really did. It was great.
Yeah. Does it? Don't spoil it, but does it like? Do we see a sequel to this? Do they hint at a bigger world that they're gonna dive into or want to?
Just because it takes place in Gotham, I mean, I think that itself.
Gotcha.
There is not. I'll say this. There is not. I don't think, if I remember right, like a direct. Like there's going to be a sequel. It's more of like a, hey, this was a thing, but there's obviously there could be more of this thing. Like there's no.
Right. Do we know if Margaret Robbie is going to be in the Suicide Squad movie, the one coming out with
the James Gunn one?
James Gunn?
I don't know. I don't think so. And I think that's probably for the best, to just let the Suicide Squad stand on its own and just kind of be separate from this. I don't think she's in that one.
Gotcha. Okay. Wait. Hold on. I was looking at the list. It does look like she is in it.
Really? Is she in it, or is she producing it?
Suicide Squad 2 set video and photos reveal Harley Quinn's new look.
Okay, fair enough.
And this was February 11th, 2020. Oh, that's today.
That's today, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so she is in it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, okay, she was announced for it. That's what I was curious about, because how does that work with the other one?
It basically never happened.
That's what I hope.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been saying this the whole time, and don't spoil this if I'm right, but I've always hoped that like the other one was like in her head or something. like they could easily just write it away that Harley Quinn is crazy and you can't trust the narrator. And don't even hint. I don't want to know, but that's what I hope going into this one, is that they mess with it enough to make you question what's real and what's not. And I think that would be such an easy way to be like, well, did that really happen? Or was there some truth to it? Or I don't know. I think that would be neat.
They do a lot of like I said, it is a fun movie.
I can't wait. I'm definitely going to be seeing it.
Ewan McGregor is amazing because he was definitely given the direction of be a comic book villain.
Yes.
And it's like, I mean, I've never seen, his jaw must hurt how much he chews the scenery.
Yeah.
But in exactly the right way. Mm-hmm. It's perfect. He is over the top and ridiculous, and it's so good.
That's good. Awesome. I can't wait.
But
yeah, I'll be checking that out for sure this week, I think.
Yeah,
I've got some time, so
definitely worth it.
yeah.
But Bad Boys held strong, number 2, another 12 million. 1917, 9 million. Doolittle 6.5 million. Just keeps chugging along. And again, and of course Jumanji 5.5. Jumanji's gonna be here forever. It'll break 300 this week. I'm not sure where it's at internationally. It's probably just off the top of my head, I'd say 7 or 8. It may be barreling towards 1 billion. I haven't kept tabs, but this damn thing just keeps making money.
Yeah,
and it's never going to leave. The last one never left. The last one for 6 months. 6 months we had Welcome to the Jungle in theaters.
Right.
24 actual honest to God weeks. I was stunned. Like, it had been out on digital. It outlasted.
Damn. Did it pay you guys rent?
Here's right. Here's what was crazy about that. Jumanji came out, and then we had it for a while, and then of course it came out on digital and Blu-ray. We still had it. Peter Rabbit came out. It was out for like a month, 6 weeks. Then we still had Jumanji, and because Peter Rabbit is also a Sony movie, we wound up like a week where we double featured. We had an actual double feature of Peter Rabbit and Jumanji. And that print of Jumanji had like the little outtake reel, had a little blooper reel on the end of it during the credits, which was fantastic. After that week, we lost Peter Rabbit. It went away because it was getting ready to come out on digital, and we kept Jumanji.
Wow.
That was how that went down. And I feel like that's going to happen again because we've got another Peter Rabbit coming out. And I swear to God, as soon as I start seeing a double feature with Jumanji and Peter Rabbit again, I'm going to lose it.
Wow.
We've had this movie for months and we're going to keep having it.
Wow.
Although we still had Knives Out, and Knives Out was Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we still
That's out on digital now.
Yeah. Oh, so is Frozen. We still have Frozen.
Wow. I always think of like not the regular theater, but like a dollar theater or something when I think of movies out at the same time.
Right.
They're out on digital.
Yeah, second run theaters. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah, no, we still have Frozen. I'm telling you, and I said this with Lion King. I was like, we're gonna have Lion King until we get Maleficent. Lion King was July, Maleficent was October. And some of the people at work were just like, yeah, nah, okay, whatever, that's too long. We kept Lion King right up until Maleficent. And I'm telling you, we are going to keep Frozen up until we get, maybe Onward. It might go when we get Onward, beginning of March, because I don't think it'll stay until Mulan.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm telling you, I still think we're going to have it another, what is that, like 3 weeks?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, I guess it is a couple weeks to that. Damn.
We still have Knives Out. We still have Frozen. We got Uncut Gems back, which I was thankful for, because then we got a chance to see it. Uncut Gems is really good.
Yeah.
It's intense and it's kind of weird, but it's.
That's what I hear. I hear it's got a ton of anxiety.
Yes.
Anxiety, the movie, I hear.
Very much so. And seeing it with someone who I let explain what was going on in terms of the cultural aspect of everything. They made it a point to say these characters are intentionally very hyper kind of stereotypically Jewish. It's intentional that way. And so because I at one point had to just kind of turn and look and say, is it just me, or is this like really ratcheted up? And he told me, he was like, yes, but you can see the intent behind it.
Right.
It's not like how some characters are written as stereotypes just as kind of like a lazy way of portraying a character. It's very intentional, and it's intense. It's a very intense movie.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
It's also very good.
The best Adam Sandler movie, you would say?
Yeah, the best Adam Sandler movie for a long, long time. Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. He is really good in it.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I definitely want to check it out.
Yeah. But what else? Where are we? Oh, next week. Oh yes, Valentine's weekend. The business we're gonna have that I'm not there for. This
Sonic,
week,
man, right?
Sonic, Fantasy Island, The Photograph, and Downhill, which the TV trailer makes Downhill look like it might be funny. The full trailer lets you know it will not be funny.
Downhill movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I hear that's gonna be bad.
It looks bad. It really does. Yeah. And which is unfortunate because I really like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I want to like Will Ferrell because sometimes he does things that surprise me. This is not one of them.
Yeah, no.
This is just.
I haven't liked Will Ferrell for a very long time. Man, I think like Old School was peak Will Ferrell. I thought that was great. That was awesome. And then it just kind of, it was like they're trying to recapture that every movie after that.
Right, but I mean the problem with that is that that was, Old School was what 2000 and Old School. Okay, Old School was 2003.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying. Is that like that was his peak Will Ferrell, where it was like, oh my God, this is hilarious to a lot of people, right? I mean, he rubs people the wrong way no matter what, but where it was like he was at his best, and then it was like I felt like, was it Todd Phillips? I guess I feel like they've been trying to recapture that, and they got close with like Hangover kind of movies, right?
Right.
With Zach Galifianakis.
Oh my God, that was Todd Phillips. Holy hell, look how far he's come.
Yeah, Jeez. Yeah. I feel like they reinvigorated it with Hangover.
Yeah.
And then they did Hangover 2 and Hangover 3, and it was like, okay, we've had enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, see how far he's come with the Joker and everything. It's insane.
God, what was his Old School? Wasn't his first movie? Certainly. What the hell was his first? Now, see, like now I've got to look like what was his first movie? He did A Star Is Born.
I think the Old School is the first one I remember of his.
That may have been like his first big movie.
Yeah.
Because that's nuts.
I know he did.
He did Borat.
Oh, he did Borat?
I don't think he directed it, but I think he was a screenwriter on it.
Borat, that's a genius.
I think he wrote. All right. His first movie was Road Trip in 2000.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That one.
Hey. Well, I mean, a lot of people like Road Trip.
They're welcome to it.
I think Road Trip is a better movie.
That's
Scotty
fair.
Doesn't know that's such a good song.
So what he's directed: Road Trip, Old School, Starsky and Hutch, School for Scoundrels, The Hangover, Due Date, Hangover 2, Hangover 3, War Dogs, and Joker. Right. He was a producer on A Star Is Born. He was a story writer on Borat.
It makes sense, though. Writing on Road Trip is definitely probably what gave him Old School. And then it makes sense, that journey. And Borat, I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Sacha Baron Cohen, but I saw an interview with him and Jim Carrey and like a few other comedians. And like, and they said some things in the interview, and I was like, that's right. Like, that kind of humor is like lightning in a bottle. He can't unfortunately do that again because now he's famous. Everyone knows his face. They tried a little bit with the Showtime show.
Oh, the Ali G?
No, that was HBO.
One. Yeah, that was HBO.
The one about America where like he goes in undercover as somebody else, and like he gets famous like politicians to do crazy shit. Have you seen this? Like he almost gets OJ to admit he did murder on tape.
No.
Oh my God, you haven't seen his show?
No, I haven't.
He gets like the one he gets that one Republican congressman to do a NRA video where it's about how to put bullets in a gun, and it's all puppets and stuff, and they're like singing about it. And
yeah, like I think I remember that, but I never like I
mean, it's Sacha Baron Cohen. Basically, his whole gimmick is he gets people to on camera freely and he doesn't like force them to say this. This is their own like doing.
Yeah.
But like put it all out there and just ramp it up. That's his whole idea behind the Borat character is the how prejudiced people are, and so he gets them to come out there and say it, thinking that this guy's a dumb, dude from the Middle East or something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does.
So yeah, so like it's I don't know, man, that show is hilarious. I can't recommend it enough. It's on Showtime, I believe. God, what is it called?
I couldn't tell you, man.
Who is America? It's called.
Okay.
Yes, I believe it was on Showtime. Go check it out. It's fucking wild. They have you name it on it, and it's absolutely insane. I mean, did you see the other movie he did? The Bruno?
Yeah, I did not enjoy Bruno.
Bruno was wild. The whole UFC fight and stuff. The shit that he puts on is absolutely insane. But yeah, I don't know. And that's the thing, is I don't like him outside of doing those characters. Like when he does a regular movie, it's not the same, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When he's doing the characters and it feels way more real, and I don't know, that kind of, it's wild. But anyway, where were we?
We were looking at everything coming out this week. I mean, Sonic is probably going to be your big winner, but I think big may be a relative term. Because I think there's going to be a split. I think you're going to get, there's not really a mainstream romance movie. I mean, The Photograph looks like a romance movie, but I don't think it's going to garner a lot of attention. I think you're going to see, it's going to be, your 1, 2, 3, I think, are going to be Sonic, Birds of Prey, Fantasy Island.
Oh, okay.
I think that's
gotta be Sonic.
Yeah, I think that's your 1, 2, 3.
Oh, real fast, so we could definitely move on to it. That's where that whole Roy Moore interview blew up with the Sacha Baron Cohen. Real fast. That's what I was trying to remember.
Okay.
For 5 minutes there. Yeah, remember when that big thing happened, and then the interview came out and they had him recorded on tape saying a bunch of crazy shit?
Yeah.
It was from that show.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, sorry. Yeah, I think Sonic's definitely going to win that weekend. I'm kind of excited about it. But at the same time, it sucks that the studio that redid Sonic it's not like going and seeing that movie is going to tell them anything, because they've all been let go.
Yeah.
That sucks. It's fucking terrible.
Yep. Welcome to the world of visual effects houses.
Yeah. It sucks. Man, my phone's listening to me. Everything on my computer and my phone now is Harley Quinn stuff. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think the Sonic movie looks fun. To me, it's right up there. It looks like it's going to be like Detective Pikachu, essentially.
I certainly hope so. I want this to be just because video game movies, I think, need to be fun.
Yeah.
I think, you can do serious, but I don't think that's the way to go about it.
Yeah.
I think you need to have some fun with it. And I mean, Detective Pikachu wasn't the most lighthearted thing on the planet, but it was fairly... you know what I'm trying to say.
It had fun, and Jim Carrey looks like he's having a blast in this.
Yes. And I have I have no qualms with his Eggman look. I don't at all. Oh,
he looks great as it looks like exactly what it needs to be to me.
Yeah.
It was kind of, maybe it was the same interview or one of those same interviews where he was talking about he was like, I totally get it. He's like, we wanted the movie to be about fun, or the idea of play.
There you
go. He goes on to this whole thing about it, but it made sense. He was saying how he sat down with his grandson and actually played Sonic when he got offered the part, and he just had such a blast with him. And so he was aware of it. He knew of it, and he wanted to put something out there like that, especially for him.
Nice.
So, yeah. So, yeah, man, I'm excited.
But so we'll see how well that turns out. I'm gonna go with, I have mediocre hopes. I don't see it being a colossal success, but I just want it to be good.
I see it being a surprise. My friend, her kids love Sonic.
Nice.
like love Sonic, and I'm like, how do they? Because they don't like, how do they even know Sonic? Like, because the way I think about it, I'm thinking that's such a '90s franchise, but kids love Sonic for some reason.
Well,
I don't know if it's like a YouTube thing or, but they love it. Like that he had her download the Sonic Racing on the phone and stuff like that. But I guess I just in my head I think of Sonic as like nostalgic to us.
Yeah, it's fair.
Because nowadays the big games out there are Mario, stuff like that, or they're into like mobile, like Minecraft, and like nostalgia for kids these days is Minecraft. So it baffles me how Sonic is like still so popular with them. I think it's going to be big if parents actually take their kids to see it.
It's fair.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll do better than Detective Pikachu, but I think he'll do pretty good, especially because there's not really much out there right now for that age group. And Frozen is still kind of hanging on, right? But that's about it.
Jumanji.
Jumanji, you're right. I know. I see like 8-year-olds way more excited about seeing Sonic.
I mean, I agree with you, but I'm just saying, man, Jumanji's still making money.
That's true. I guess that's the pool. Yeah, I guess if you're an adult, like a parent, you'd be like, yeah, let's go see Jumanji because maybe you can get something both out of it more with Jumanji. I don't know. I hope it does good. Wouldn't it be wild if it's like the highest grossing video game movie of all time?
I'd love it.
It'd be great.
It won't be, but I love it.
No. Yeah. It'd be wild. It'd be that Warcraft and then Pikachu, which would be crazy. Man, Nintendo needs to get more out there, which apparently they want to do. So.
Well, they're working with Illumination on a Mario movie.
Yep. Their franchise would kill it. Oh man, they would absolutely kill it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Cool. All right. Well, should we dive into the Oscars?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool.
I mean, did you actually watch the Oscars or just catch the winners and the highlights?
I was busy in Azeroth.
Fair enough.
I have no life it's all a blur, seriously. I actually broke my toe at some point.
Ow, that's always fun.
I was helping move some stuff, and then I just slammed it right into the corner of something. And I was like, I just immediately thought, that has never happened to my foot. I've never hit it that hard on anything. It feels broken. But when you break like your toe, it's not like breaking your arm where you're like, yes, that's broken. I can feel that. That's like through the skin. The toe is a little weird. Because like there's not much I can do to it. I can't. There's nothing a doctor could do to it.
Yeah.
It's just gotta heal. But it's all black and blue. It's all swollen. I'm just like, fuck. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I don't know how to get into that. I didn't do anything this week except play around in Azeroth. So, but I did catch parts of it though.
But yeah, it was a good show. Like it was a good actual broadcast this year.
Did they have a host this year?
No, they had no host. They went
Still
hostless
no host. Gotcha.
again, and I think that's better. It's turned out to be a much better format. Because they haven't had and here's somebody getting up to do this exceptionally contrived thing. It hasn't been that.
Well, to me that makes more sense because now you're gonna have more time for people to actually have an acceptance speech and say something meaningful and thank a little bit more people.
Yeah.
I'm sure they still get rushed off stage, but at least there's a little bit more wiggle room for that. Especially, I mean, if you already have musical guests, I heard Billie Eilish did a set, Eminem, right?
Yeah, Billie Eilish did yesterday for the In Memoriam,
wow.
And it was good. It was.
Oh yeah, I bet that was good.
Really good. And then what happened was Lin-Manuel.
I'm a big fan of Billie Eilish. I don't know if I said that on the podcast before.
Yeah.
That's good. I bet she killed that. That's cool.
She did. It was very good. And then Lin-Manuel Miranda introduced a montage of songs in movies. The idea of songs that either were made for movies, something like Footloose, or songs that just got huge from movies, something like
Okay.
Eye of the Tiger or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of that, it was like, oh, here's a long cut from 8 Mile. And it's like, all right, this is cool. Man, they're lingering on this for a while. Everything else is like 5-10 seconds. This is just kind of going and kind of going. Cue Eminem on stage. And I was like, okay.
Oh, that's
all right.
awesome.
This was
I
like,
didn't know that.
yeah, the whole, like, the video package was great. Like, it was a fun little thing. And then it just kind of, it was like an orchestral version of the beginning of Lose Yourself. And it was really cool. And I was like, well, this is kind of neat.
Oh, that's cool.
And then there he is on stage. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, that was 17 years ago. Oh, my God.
Oh, holy crap. 17 years ago since that movie?
Yes. 8 Mile.
That's insane.
Yeah. And since he won, people forget. Like, Eminem won for Lose Yourself. Like, he is an Academy Award-winning rapper.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't... I guess I didn't realize.
And he showed up to perform this time, and the crowd was very split. You had
it kind of makes sense that Eminem, now that I think about it, like, his biggest hit with Hamilton is My Shot.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
Sorry. It hit me.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But it was really, really cool. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun moment. It reminded me that most of the time, the bigger names in rap trying to perform live are very reliant on that backing track.
Oh, for sure.
And so I'm like, I would never go see somebody like M live. I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because it's problematic at best, and he's not the only one that's like that. So that's, do your thing. I don't care. But it was a really fun moment, and it was great to see the split in the audience. Like, Martin Scorsese took a nap, but and it's not his speed. That's fine. Cool.
Right.
He doesn't like Eminem or Marvel movies. I get it.
Did they cut him taking a nap during the song?
They did. They cut to him like, here's his reaction, and he was just kind of sitting there with his eyes closed. But then you had a lot of, and you had some of the old crowd that was just kind of like, okay, this is happening, and it was a very generational thing. Like the kind of older crowd, it wasn't like disgust or how dare they. It was just like, all right, this is a thing. We'll get through this. And then you cut to, the other half of the crowd who is like, hell yes.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Lose Yourself is probably one of his most iconic songs, and it's not as, like...
It's not controversial at all.
It's not controversial as, like, all of his other stuff.
No.
That's very much the most family-friendly that you could put on the Oscars.
Yeah.
It showcases his just lyrical genius. And yeah, like you said, I mean, imagine modern day hip hop. It doesn't compare to that, I guess. A lot of it, a lot of mumble rapping and stuff like that. I couldn't even imagine that on the Oscars. But yeah, that's crazy. I gotta see this. I can't find it anywhere. I guess they're not allowed to.
How can you not find? It's everywhere.
I'm looking on YouTube. They must have removed it. Like
there's no way.
Help me out here.
All right.
I've looked it up. All I'm seeing is the Breakfast Club talk about it. Genius talk about it. There's no. It looks like it's been scrubbed from the internet.
You're kidding.
No. What's probably happened is who does the Oscars, they probably put a, whatever you call it, on it.
You think
strike.
You think that ABC put a DMCA on it?
Guaranteed. They don't want other people showing it. You would think they'd put it on their own YouTube channel, but
they did. I just sent you the link.
Thank you.
I
put Lin-Manuel Miranda, Eminem, Lose Yourself, and I'm not finding it.
Because Lin introduced the montage.
Oh man, I'm just not Googling right.
And that led into M performing. I don't know if they have them.
Oh, so this is just a performance. I wanted to see the whole thing.
Okay. I don't know if they have like the whole entire thing on there. I doubt it.
Yep, there it is. He's sleeping right in the audience.
Yeah, it's just, and that's his thing. Whatever. Like
he's gonna kill him in the next album. Martin Scorsese says he is dead. Oh, he opens his eyes at the very last second.
Yeah.
He's gonna murder him somehow.
Oh well, sorry, Martin.
Sorry, all the people you've killed in your movies. Yeah, no, that's great.
But that was a fun moment, and yeah, Billie Eilish doing the In Memoriam was. I always get worried when they're like, hey, we're gonna bring in whoever's really popular right now to do
She's good though.
the In Memoriam song, and it always worries me. It never matter. It doesn't matter who. Even if it's somebody I like, I'm always worried. But it was very good. It was really very good.
She's insanely talented.
Yes.
I haven't seen it, so I have no idea. But I imagine like she's not the kind of person that wants attention during stuff like that. I don't know. Like I couldn't see like Lady Gaga doing that or something, but it makes sense with her voice and whatnot. It's insanely good.
Yeah, it was really good, and like I said, overall it was just a good show. And I became a massive fan of Bong Joon-ho because every time he got up, he's like the most humble dude on the planet.
Right, the Parasite director, right?
Yes, right. Yes. He technically won 2 directing awards because Best International Film goes to the director as well. He won Best Director, Best International Film, Best Original Screenplay because he also wrote it, and because he was a producer on it, he was also credited when it won Best Picture. He is one of 2 people to personally win 4 Oscars in the same night, and I think that's insane.
Oh wow, that is crazy.
That is a record that was untouched for the last, I think, 67 years.
Who was the other person?
Walt Disney.
Oh my God! That's like tying with Michael Jackson for music,
Yeah, and Walt back in 53, and he won for 4 different projects, but it was like Best Animated Short, Best Live Action Short, Best Documentary, and then Best Short Film 2 Reel. Like it was because they had lots of different categories back. They had I'm not gonna say lots of different categories, but they had very different categories back in the day. But they were all different items. They weren't the same they were different projects. That's what I'm looking for.
Right.
But
that's crazy.
Those are the only 2 people in Oscar history to personally win 4 Oscars in the same night.
Oh wow.
That is some rarefied air right there.
Yeah.
And fantastic. And watching this guy get up, like I knew the last time he got up when they went for Best Picture, I knew he wasn't going to talk. Not that he wasn't going to have time to, which was its own little issue.
But he wasn't going to what?
He wasn't going to talk that last award. Like he
Gotcha.
Because he'd been up there 3 times.
Right.
He just kind of had that aura of like, no, the other producers are going to talk. I've said enough, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's funny you say it's kind of like how when Billie Eilish got her Grammy for however many times this year, like she's like, I just came up here. I don't know what else to say.
It was great because like when they won for Best Picture, one of the other producers gave a quick speech, and then like they killed the lights and everything, like they were going to go to the out. One of the other producers had stepped up to say something, and everybody booed it, and everybody in the front row. And it was great because it was like Tom Hanks and just this ridiculous whole cast in the front row were chanting at the microphone to bring it back up, just up for the microphone and the lights, and the lights and the microphone came back up, and they were allowed to finish the speeches.
Good.
But it was a great moment. It was a fantastic moment.
Yeah.
But there's a great.
That's wild, man. That's history, right? Like, has there been a foreign movie like that?
There is not.
Good.
It's the first one that's won Best Picture.
Yeah, that's because it's a shame. It's like you said, like you won the foreign film, and it's kind of a shame that even exists. Like it you know what I mean? Like it's a shame that foreign films don't get as much attention as domestic films, I guess here. Like it shouldn't have taken this long for a foreign film to win Best Picture.
I absolutely agreed. They've come close a couple of times.
Yeah. That's wild, though. I mean, in a year where you have things like 1917, which is my favorite one that I saw from last year.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Parasite yet. Things like Knives Out and The Joker. You know, a lot of people love that. Like, that's crazy. That's insane.
Like, I fully expected 1917 to win. I absolutely did. And I was stunned. I'm happily stunned. Like, I was never. There's only one award that I didn't really like the outcome of, and it was best visual effects because it went to 1917. And
Yeah.
I don't know what any of these, like, I mean, I'm sorry, but when you're in the same category as something like Star Wars and Endgame, I really think you have to give it to one of those two, because the effects have to be so spot on, because otherwise it takes you clear out of it. And I really think that's the only one that I kind of disagreed with all night. I had no...
But in a way, the special effects for 1917 were insane. How they cut that together to make it look like one shot.
That's not a visual effect like that,
That
though.
totally is, though. I think that's undercutting what those people do to say that's not an effect.
Okay, then let me say it a different way. It's
for example, that whole scene with the plane, how they cut that together to make it look like you were just watching it the whole time, moving from cut to cut seamlessly. I imagine that takes a ton of work.
It does, but you will never hear me downplay what a visual effects house does.
I didn't mean like that. I'm just saying that I think that deserves it, though.
It absolutely
I agree with you. When you see something like the Endgame or Endgame, when that whole fight with Thanos and it's insane.
It deserved. I will give 1917 absolutely deserved consideration for its effects, but I don't think it. I just don't think it was the winner.
I agree. I agree with you. I think when you see that Thanos come to life like that for the second time, and that whole battle at the end that on paper could sound so ridiculous, and it is, but the way they pulled it off seamlessly with all those characters on the screen at the same time. They even got the duck in there. It's insane. I saw what's that YouTube channel? The people who do the FX.
Oh, the Corridor Crew.
Yes, they did a recent one with one of the guys who worked. I think it was the Weta Workshop. They worked on that Endgame, and he talks about how that one scene was the scene that they worked on from the beginning to the end of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, I have no doubt in my mind.
How to cut that one, and that was their long shot, essentially.
Yeah.
Because it does cut from one person to another without. I'm sorry, it doesn't cut, but the camera just flows between them. And they were saying how that was the longest scene they had to work on. So I completely agree with you with that. But oh man, 1917, I was just blown away at, the whole time I'm thinking, I'm looking for the seams. Obviously, there's the cuts where you see a tree and stuff like that. But man, they did just such a beautiful job making that look phenomenal. I don't know. When I started seeing who won the awards this year, I was like, what? That's crazy. Like a lot of these I was not expecting. But not in a bad way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Good surprise. It's like none of these. I'm like, oh, I think it's because, man, for the last couple of years, the Academy Awards, to me, it always seemed like there was never really a definite winner, and the only ones that people seemed were definite winners were super indie movies.
Right.
If that makes sense. Ones that I didn't even hear of. I've heard of Parasite all year, but I mean movies that I just didn't hear of.
Right, things that you looked at as soon as you saw, and you were just like, oh yeah, okay, so this is just movies that you looked at and went, oh yeah, that's an Oscar movie.
Yes.
But it didn't have seeming mainstream appeal outside of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, this year, 1917 had massive mainstream appeal as well as being an Oscar movie. Ford vs. Ferrari, same thing. Joker, same thing. Little Women, same thing. Any of these that were nominated were also mainstream kinds of movies. The only ones that I would think were more, I remember the what was it, the Darkest Hour, the Winston Churchill movie they did a couple years ago. Yeah. Movies like that, which are kind of on the fringe of that, they're definitely Oscar movies, but they also have some mainstream buzz. Were things like Harriet and Bombshell, which were very focused pieces and definitely kind of awards. I don't want to say award centric, but that kind of movie that lends itself to award season, but also had mainstream appeal. Like, they both did fairly well. I remember Harriet did really well.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, nothing, I mean, Knives Out, something like that, where it's like it's nominated for Best Picture, and it did fantastic.
Wait, was Knives Out nominated?
Knives Out was nominated.
I didn't think it was.
It was indeed.
Are you sure?
It was. I know it was nominated for Best Original Screenplay.
Yes, it was for that. I don't think it was for Best Picture.
Was it not? I don't remember exactly all of the.
What surprised me, and I don't know how they did it, was Marriage Story, because that's like a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
So same with The Irishman, but I guess because technically it came out in the theater for like a week.
It did. There's a very limited window that it has to, like, blah 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 blah. Those
Gotcha.
I hate those.
But it's wild
rules.
to see those in the titles though, like
Yeah.
like Irishman. I don't think that to me. It was okay, but I don't put it in there as the best. One of the best movies.
No. What was okay? So the Best Picture nominations: Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 1917, Marriage Story, Little Women, Joker, The Irishman, Ford vs Ferrari, Parasite, and Jojo Rabbit.
Right. Parasite is it's not indie movie, but it's the one that's probably the least known. Out of those, I would think that and like Little Women, right?
No. I would say that and Jojo Rabbit. Jojo Rabbit is your more, out of that category, it would be the indiest, if you will,
really,
of movies. Yes.
Maybe I'm just so in love with Taika Waititi that it was totally in my radar.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. Yeah, man, trying to talk to people about Jojo Rabbit, I would see the glimmer in their eyes kind of disappear when I start trying to explain what the movie's about.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, Hitler, imaginary gun." No.
It is a satire of Nazi Germany at the end of the war. It is a brilliant satire. It is funny as hell, and it has no right to be as funny as it is.
Yeah, no. But Parasite, I don't know anything about it. I see and that was the thing, is the second I started to try to look into it, everything that I saw was like, stop, don't read this. Make sure, like, if you want to see this movie, go in blind. And the poster just looks crazy. It just looks like people with like black bars on their eyes and like I think a girl's legs on the ground, and that's all you see. So
yeah, I couldn't like I say this, and it's no spoiler. I am like half-ish way through, and I'm waiting to see like the big dramatic moment.
Gotcha.
Like but the lead up is so fascinating. Like it is so good. Like you really need to see it. It's so good.
Yep. I would definitely be checking out that this week. For sure. Cool. Where were we?
Absolutely worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, what else do we have? Like, we'll burn through a couple of these. Again, Bong Joon-ho, Best Director. Joaquin Phoenix for Best Actor and Most Interesting Speech.
What did he say? I didn't see it.
You just have to watch it. Like, I can't do it justice. You just have to watch it.
Yeah, he had a good one at, what was it, the BAFTAs or whatever?
The BAFTAs are the Spirit Awards, I feel like.
It was one in Europe somewhere.
It might have been the BAFTAs, yeah.
You're right.
But yeah, cool. you just have to watch it. I cannot do it justice because it's just Joaquin Phoenix being Joaquin Phoenix, and I can't give you any more than that because it's just not the same.
Yeah, cool. I'll check it out.
It ends with a nice shout out to River, and it just reminds you, man, that messed him up.
Oh yeah,
that messed him up so bad. But he's found a way to use it, and more power to him for that.
Yeah, he died of drugs, right? Drug
yeah,
overdose
at the what was it? The Viper Club, the Viper Room, I think.
I don't know anything about that. Is that like a club in Hollywood?
It was, yeah. I don't know if it still is or not, but
that's a shame.
It was one of those, like, this is a big, like, here's where the people go to party kind of club.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember that right.
Wow. Oof.
But it was, yeah, it's, you can tell it did a number on him for sure, but he's, all the power to him for everything everything he's poured that into, and his best performances are these just very damaged people. I mean, you look at, I mean, you know, there's an odd parallel between the Joker and Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
You know, and not just in Joaquin's performances, but it certainly didn't hurt.
Did he win for Johnny Cash?
He didn't. No,
Okay.
he didn't win.
Was
for
this
Johnny
his
Cash.
first?
This was, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But, and you know, I mean, well deserved. Like, I mean, it was.
He was definitely the best part of the Joker. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, Renee Zellweger won Best Actress for her portrayal as Judy Garland.
You know what I just thought about?
What?
That has to be the first time someone won an Oscar for the same role. 2 Oscars for the same role.
And it's the only comic book. It's the only comic book character to have won an Oscar, and it's won twice.
That's crazy.
And it's interesting. Once as supporting actor, once as lead actor.
Well, you're right. Okay, supporting lead, that makes sense. But yeah. Same role though. That's wild.
Isn't that
the
nuts? Joker
of all characters.
Yeah.
Man, they're gonna keep tapping. See, that's a problem. I think what I think's gonna happen is they're gonna see that and go, let's keep mining that character instead of just leaving it alone for 10 years.
Yeah.
And let someone else come up with a good idea later on. Man, yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
But I feel like there's another one that there've been multiple characters. I feel like Al Capone lends himself to that.
Yeah, I don't know. You would know before I would. I have no idea.
I don't know.
I can't think of another.
I'll look into that. I feel like there has to be.
Who was the other guy that played the Joker? Not the original, but
Heath Ledger.
Not Heath Ledger. Not Heath Ledger.
Who are you looking for?
The last guy who played the Joker before Walking.
Oh, Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. You think he'd win anything? I'm just trying to think.
I wonder if he won a Razzie for that, honestly.
Yeah. But he's an Academy Award winner, though.
He is, for Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's crazy. But, yeah. I doubt that's the last we see of that iteration of the Joker. Especially now that it's Academy Award winning.
Maybe. We'll
Suicide
see.
Squad.
Yeah, don't remind me that Suicide Squad is an Academy Award-winning film. Don't.
Oh man.
I hate that. I hate that so much.
What did that get? What was that? Best makeup?
Yeah, makeup and or it was like costuming. I think it was costuming.
That wasn't even the coolest part of that movie.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
The alligator was.
Yeah, it was. I feel like it was either costume or hair and makeup. It was one of those two, and I was just like, why?
Yeah, Harley Quinn looked cool in it, I guess, but man, it's wild. It's wild.
Just why?
Yeah.
I don't even think that's gonna make my head hurt.
Yeah.
What year was Suicide Squad anyway?
Oh boy.
2013, 2012?
Holy crap, it's been that long?
I feel like it.
Oh man. Yeah, let me look it up here.
I almost feel like it had to be. Either that or...
there's Suicide Squad and The Suicide 2016.
Oh, it was 2016. Wow, okay, fair enough.
I knew it wasn't that long ago.
So it would have been.
That was right when like Post Malone was becoming popular and all that. That's why they had like the tattoos on the face of the Joker and all this stuff.
Yeah. So it was.
What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad?
Yeah, apparently. God, it was only nominated for 2 Razzies that year.
Wow.
Because Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice was nominated for 8.
Yeah. Yeah. Which movie do you think was better? Batman vs Superman or Suicide Squad? This is Sophie's choice.
Dawn of Justice. I have to. I feel like it has more. For as bad as the bad parts were, there were cooler moments. Like I didn't find much of anything outside of Harley Quinn enjoyable in Suicide Squad.
Completely agree. I couldn't even tell you what happened at the end.
Yeah.
I still have no idea. When someone told me that there were like mudmen at the end of the movie,
yeah,
I thought, was I high when I saw this movie? I don't remember.
Yeah, but Dawn of Justice had some cool moments. I'll give it that. That's really all I've got for you.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I agree.
yeah, God, it didn't even win. It didn't even win a Razzie. I don't think at all.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's awful. That's awful. That's terrible. Razzies this year, I think the nominees were just announced. It's what, the 40. God, they're up to the 40th already. Man, they've been going a long time on this. 40th Razzies will take place. We don't know when they'll take place. Much to nobody's surprise, Cats leads with the most nominations at 9.
Has anyone showed up to win the Razzie Award?
Oh yeah, a bunch of them. Halle Berry famously showed up to accept hers for Catwoman.
Oh, that's great.
And spoofed her, because like the year before, I think she had won an Academy Award for Monsters Ball, because she won for that. And I think she showed up for her Razzie and basically just did like the same speech. And it was it was fantastic. It was so good. It was so good.
That's great.
God, I did not know Fred Durst directed a film.
Oh yeah.
God, this came out on my
media tore that apart.
Oh God, The Fanatic. This thing came out on my birthday last year. Damn you, Fred Durst.
John Travolta.
Yes. Oh,
he's like a crazy obsessed fan.
Gee, there's a shock.
Yeah, like you could tell, like the way Red Letter Media, they tear it apart. They're just like you could tell, like whoever wrote this really hates their fans. Like they really hate their fans because they just make this guy fucking batshit crazy.
That's fair. God, some of these movies I've never even heard of. Zeroville was something I'd never heard of. It's directed by James Franco.
There's so many famous people in that Cats movie.
Oh yeah.
I guess I just didn't realize it. Like I'm looking at Ian McKellen. I didn't know he was in that movie.
Oh yeah. Oh God, the cast for Cats is amazing. But it couldn't help you. Like it's so bad. It was so bad. I still haven't seen it. I want to one day, but oh my God, I'm gonna have to be so drunk.
I hear it's not even like good bad.
No, it's everyone I've talked to who's come out of it, who I feel like would have an opinion I'd respect. Would because there were my favorite story about Cats is there was one show I had to clean and there were like 5 people that came out of it. And the first was a trio of elderly ladies who were telling me it was great, don't listen to anybody, we sang, we laughed, it was fantastic, we cried through the whole thing. And they left, and there was a not quite middle-aged couple who had been sitting a couple rows back, and they came down right behind them. And the lady had said to me, we cried through the whole thing, and they walked off. And the couple looked at me and just went, yeah, we did too, and left.
Wow.
Just like
oh my God, dude.
The way they delivered that was just fantastic. They're just like, yeah, we cried too. And I was just like, oh my God. It's so good.
So they lost $100 million.
Oh, Cats is a disaster. Cats is a financial disaster.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's so bad. I really want to see it, but I don't want to be drunk. I want to be like tipsy. I feel like if I was just on the edge, I think would be the best way for me to watch that movie. But oh my God, yeah, it's nominated. The only thing that's got
eat an edible.
The only thing that has more like hysterical nominations at the Razzies is A Medea Family Funeral. Just because Tyler Perry is personally nominated for so many different roles in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's so bad. Cats is nominated for so much. I hate that the Godzilla movie has a nomination here. That bothers me.
I wasn't a fan of it.
Oh, King of the Monsters was good. I didn't think it was... I can understand people not liking it, but I don't think it was, like, Razzie-worthy bad.
No, not Razzie-worthy bad.
It
was kind of a... it happened.
Yeah.
It had some monsters. I'm excited for the next one.
Yeah.
I don't know. So something just rubs me the wrong way with these new Godzilla movies.
That's fair enough.
Every time I think of them, I just think of like complete darkness. Seems like these movies are always in the dark. And I don't care about the characters at all. I hated that they killed off the one dude in the first one almost immediately. I was like, I was following this character and he's dead, and I don't give a shit about his son.
Yeah, but it's never about the humans. It's
Yeah,
not
but
supposed to be
you
about the
make
humans.
your whole movie about the humans, and that's what my mind goes to.
Nah, these movies are not made about the humans.
But think about this. I understand most of them aren't, but in the first movie, you don't show Godzilla until the very end. So, what am I supposed to hold on to when you're telling me this whole story about these human characters at the beginning? That's what I care about, and then you kill them off immediately. We still don't see Godzilla at that point. We don't see Godzilla until way later. And I'm just like, that whole first movie, I don't know. I felt like everything was set up beautifully. Bryan Cranston, we got this, we got that. I'm like, yes, cool. The idea of seeing a Godzilla movie from the human perspective, we didn't really see that before, right? We always saw it from like the God's eye view.
No, we saw one from the human perspective.
Where?
To the 2000 movie.
Well, no, not like that. That's like, yeah, I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. But that's a bad movie.
Well,
that was like trying to get Jurassic Park money. I meant fair. Like a real character-driven movie, not like a Congo movie or you know what I mean? Like not like that. Does that make sense?
Fair, yeah.
Like I love the idea of like he lost his family, he lost his home, he was on ground level when everything happened. I don't know. I just felt like I was supposed to care about that character, and the director was like, "Ha, fuck you," and then I didn't give a shit about his son, and for whatever reason that ruined the rest of the movie for me because I was like, I'm not invested in this character at all. He just felt like I don't know, like just did not care about him at all. And then in the second movie, I cared a little bit more. So that's one thing about the second Godzilla movie I will say is I cared about the characters a little bit more, but I felt like I wasn't being jerked around like I was in the first one.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like I was like, okay, I can invest in her. This is one I can follow. But I don't know.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
Third one should be good though.
I am excited for the third one. It comes out I think later this year. It's supposed to be.
Yep.
It's either this year or next. I can't remember.
I can't go over this picture of Ian McKellen as a cat.
Yeah. I like the Razzie Redeemer Award though. I like that they decided I don't know how many years ago to carve out the idea of like, look, we gave this person a hard time because they've done a bunch of crap, but you know
who's up for it
this year. Your Razzie Redeemer Awards are Jennifer Lopez in Hustlers, which was a good performance.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Murphy, Dolomite Is My Name, good performance. Keanu Reeves for John Wick 3 and Toy Story 4.
Oh,
Will Smith in Aladdin. And Adam Sandler, Uncut Gems.
I can see Adam or Keanu.
I think those are going to be your two. Yeah.
Or Eddie Murphy too. They're all good except Will Smith.
I don't think Will and Eddie and even J-Lo to an extent have not fallen quite as far.
Right. And Bad Boys, apparently he's like phenomenal in that.
Yes.
Will Smith.
Yes, very much so. Bad Boys 3 is hey, remember when Will Smith was an action dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Gemini Man wasn't terrible. It wasn't really good, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
But I think it's Adam Sandler because Adam Sandler has just done trash for years.
Right.
And I feel like this is just this is his to win for exactly that reason because he's just done garbage. And it's been nothing but garbage. I don't give a damn what anybody tries to tell me. It's been crap.
Yeah.
But Uncut Gems was so good. It really was.
I gotta see that.
Yeah, definitely do. It is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We'll see. Cool. We'll burn through some of the rest of the awards here. Where were we? Renee Zellweger for Judy. Judy was one that was very much like, this is an Oscar movie. That's one that was definitely made like, this is made in that kind of style of like, this is a character piece by one actor, like it's their, like, this is that movie.
Okay.
And it was good. Like, I mean, I try not to put those kind of movies down because they do usually wind up being very good movies. They're also it's just that they're very specifically that kind of movie.
Right.
Brad Pitt, Best Supporting Actor, Once Upon a Time, definitely agreed. Best Supporting Actress, Laura Dern, Marriage Story. I personally, I thought that was great. Personally, I hated Marriage Story.
Really?
I did, and I will tell you why. I am tired of seeing two middle-class white people yell at each other. I'm tired of seeing that movie over and over and over and over and over again. I just hated it. I really did.
I thought the acting in that movie was phenomenal.
Yes, white people getting very angry at each other is very difficult to do. I'm sorry. I'm just so tired.
People get the stereotype of other races getting angry in movies. That's not white people don't have the lottery on that. I don't know. I think that's kind of weird to say. You're tired of white people getting angry in movies.
I am, because I see it in every movie. Like
But you could say that. I mean, just think about what you're saying. You could say that about a different race doing a stereotypical thing in a movie.
And usually those movies don't even become nominated for Oscars. Usually they're not even good.
I thought this was a great movie. I'm glad it was nominated because, like, you take these two actors who, you know what, they're mostly now known for like these big blockbuster movies where they don't actually get to. I mean, he did a great job as Kylo Ren. To me personally, he was the best part of Star Wars in the last however many years. And to see him in this kind of role, it's just so different. But it's like, okay, wow, like Adam Driver, phenomenal actor. And I don't know. I when I saw it, I was just like, that was my first thought. It was like, we don't get this kind of performance in Star Wars. We don't get this kind of performance in Avengers, and it was nice. And it also felt like real, if that makes sense.
I see. That's the part that I disagree with.
You don't think the acting felt real?
I don't feel like those people felt real.
Really?
I felt no connection. Like, I could not begin to identify with those people. I
totally could. I mean, it felt like a real divorce. It felt like how, not only did it feel like a real divorce, it felt like how the court system can make it completely a disaster on every level. And good intentions are just destroyed. I don't know. I thought it was very raw. I thought it was very, I don't know. The performances they felt like they weren't even acting. They just felt like they were just being, if that makes sense. I don't know. I haven't seen anything quite like that in a long time, especially out of people like, or I would think Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. I guess I've seen, I think I saw Adam Driver in like Girls. But like, I don't know. It was weird seeing them go from, laser swords and Hulks and stuff like that to like real characters. That's crazy that you had the opposite feeling from the movie.
Yeah, no, I found
that's cool. I mean,
look, I'm not putting down anybody that liked it. I looked at this and I was just like, this to me felt like an unnecessary movie. And I know you can say that about any movie, and I've bashed people for saying that too, but to
me, it just felt very un-Hollywood. It was a movie about two people and their family. There was no happy. Like, this was just a divorce. Like, it was just bad.
Yeah.
But I thought it felt very raw. If that made sense.
It does. I don't know. It wasn't for me. I don't know.
It was one of those, like, I would never want to watch again,
That's
but like
fair.
it stuck with me, like especially the fight. Yeah, so many fights that he had with her. Um, I don't know. Whew, I don't know. That's funny though.
Yeah. Yeah, you and I are just gonna be on completely opposite
Yeah,
sides of this.
that's okay.
Which is
That's
fine.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
But more power to him, I guess.
I'm surprised she got an award for it though. Like her performance wasn't the outstanding one that I would think of that movie, but hey, no knocking her.
Well, I mean, Scarlett and Adam were both nominated in their respective categories too.
Well, she was in Star Wars too. Now that I think about it, like these were all like, recently in these big movies.
Yeah, she was in Last Jedi.
Yeah. She's probably gonna be in the next Jurassic Park, right?
She is. Yes,
Gotcha.
She is confirmed for that.
Yeah, it felt like I said, like the whole time I was thinking, like these characters I just see in these like big blockbuster like action films, and it was just so weird to. I don't know. Especially Adam Driver. Like I was baffled at how well his acting was in that movie.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm just an Adam Driver stan, I guess.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair enough. Like, I mean, we have seen he does have tremendous talent.
Yeah, like it was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It is wild.
But it'd be what it'd be, as they say.
Yeah. Not shocked Brad Pitt got Best Supporting Actor though.
No, I'm not either. He was tremendous in that.
But like he was the main actor in that movie though. Like you could argue he had way more screen time than Leonardo DiCaprio.
I don't think that's true.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. And also you have to remember supporting actor is more about the way you define who the lead is who's the movie about. And it wasn't the overall arc of the movie was not about him. It was about DiCaprio.
Was it though?
Yes, it was. It was structured.
See, in my head, and I'm totally wrong, I guess, but I was thinking the movie followed him having to deal with Leonardo DiCaprio, him then going to the ranch, all of that happening, and then him dealing in the climax with he was the hero through the whole story. Leonardo DiCaprio just felt like the thing he was latched onto, like his friend, if that makes sense.
It
For
does.
whatever reason in my head, that's how I saw the movie.
And I can see it that way, but it's very framed around like everything is centric upon DiCaprio's character.
What arc did Leo have in the movie, though?
His entire career?
His career, I felt like he just showed up in the movie. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just totally misread the movie. But I felt like he was just a part of the movie. Does that make sense? I feel like
I definitely see where you're coming from there. Absolutely.
Like in my head, I thought Quentin Tarantino was making that a point of the movie. Is that like on paper, yes, Leo is the star. Leo is the one who his career kind of rides or Brad Pitt's career kind of rides or die on it, and Brad Pitt is the stunt double, so he's like latching onto it. But in my head, I thought that the story from our viewpoint was flipped as like actually Brad Pitt is the star of this thing. He's a much more interesting character. The events of that day were way more concerned with him, and that Leo, I felt like he just showed up at the end and he was like, in his pool or whatever. But you're right. I guess it was about Leo's career and the downfall of it. And you're right. I guess there must have been more scenes because they do that whole stuff with him and the little girl.
Yeah.
I guess just the most interesting part of the movie to me was it was with Brad through it.
I mean that's fair. Like it's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was so much. You got to remember, there was so much of Leo, like on set and everything
That's
too.
true.
Like that whole sequence, which I love the idea that Quentin is gonna revisit that and actually do episodes of that show.
Right.
And I really hope DiCaprio is like he can talk him into it. Just come on, show up, have fun, like.
Yeah.
I really think that's the way that needs to go about.
Yeah.
But I love that there was an episode of that included as like a bonus feature. There was a full-on episode of that shot and included.
Oh, on the Blu-ray?
Yeah, we had it when we did like when like it came back in theaters for like a week.
Could you imagine in the theater for as long as that movie is to watch an episode?
It was like a 12-minute episode, I think. It was something like that.
Okay.
I mean, it was great, but it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't like full length or anything. But it was.
I'm thinking like 30 minutes. I'm like, good lord.
No, Jesus. That
you need intermission.
Yeah, I mean, there's. I imagine there is a director's cut that we will see of that at some point that includes an intermission.
Yeah.
Like they'll have to be, or just do what they did with The Hateful Eight and split it like a Netflix series.
Yeah.
But we got, like we said, best original screenplay went to Parasite. Best adapted screenplay went to The Man. I loved it. I loved that Taika won for Jojo Rabbit. That just floored me. Like I was so ecstatic. But and the first he also made history. He was the first person of Maori descent to win.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw an article about that. That's pretty neat.
Thought that was very, very cool. Yes. Just seeing Taika succeeding is awesome because he's just such a fun, ridiculous dude.
Oh yeah,
it's just tremendous. But we've best animated feature went to Toy Story 4. Not a shock, really. I think the only shock in that category was Frozen 2 not being nominated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was not nominated. However you pronounce it, Klaus or Claus was the Netflix Santa Claus origin story. That was nominated.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just thought that was kind of strange. But I thought,
that's odd.
Whatever, what have you. But we had international film, again, Parasite. Documentary feature, American Factory. I did not see it. I have no, that's kind of all I have on that. Did you see it?
Let's see. I have not, no.
Okay. Best documentary short was Learning to Skateboard in a War Zone If You're a Girl. Which I get the premise. It's girls in Afghanistan learning to skateboard, and that's problematic on a number of levels, and I bet that was a fascinating film.
Oh, that's cool.
But that's one that I actually do want to check out, because that to me just sounds really interesting.
Oh yeah, apparently American Factory's on Netflix.
Okay. Another Netflix film.
Yeah, there's one on Netflix, a docu-series that I want to see, which usually those means are like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
But there's one called The Pharmacist. Have you heard of this?
No, I haven't. Tell me about it.
It's basically, I only saw one trailer once for it, so correct me. I mean, I could be wrong. But basically, by the way, I think the Learning to Skateboard on a War Zone is on Hulu. So.
Oh, excellent. Very nice.
Yeah. But the Pharmacist is about a pharmacist, and he runs his own pharmacy. And his son ends up getting murdered for crack cocaine deal or something gone wrong. And he didn't understand it. He didn't understand why his son would have been involved in drugs, crack cocaine, all this stuff. And the more he investigated, the more he realized, like, oh, the kids he were involved with had a lot to do with the pharmaceutical industry and the pills. And he realized a lot of them were getting the pills from his pharmacy. And, like, he dives into it, and he realizes the deeper he went, the police didn't want to get involved, and he realized people were getting paid off to not talk to him about anything. And it apparently goes super deep, and like to the point where like he's being followed around by people from the like pharmaceutical company, and he thinks he might actually wind up missing soon because he's making a big ruckus about that industry. And
right.
And this was years ago. Everyone knows the pharmaceutical industry has been garbage for a while now, but like, especially in the last 5 to 10 years, it's really like hit a point where it's like, especially with the government cracking down now on pill mills and everything else.
Yeah.
That all leads into. So like, I don't know. I haven't seen the documentary, but everyone that I've seen, it's one of those things where I see Facebook blow up for a couple weeks with the don't fuck with cats.
Right.
And now the pharmacist is the other one. Did I say pharmacy? It's the pharmacist.
Pharmacist. Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be one I'm going to be checking out soon. But yeah, so American Factory is on Netflix, and Learning to Skateboard with a Warzone is a Hulu subscription.
It's on Hulu. Very cool. Very cool.
Yep.
So definitely ones to check out. For
yeah.
Sure. Best live action short was The Neighbor's Window, which I know like nothing about at all. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Best animated short I was so excited for. I can't remember what movie it was that Hair Love played before. It was at some point over the summer, and I can't remember because it was Sony. I remember it was Sony, and I don't remember what it played in front of.
I could probably look it up real fast for you.
If you could, do that real quick. I feel like it was
before Angry Birds 2.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense because that was
and
another.
The short was eventually attached to Jumanji: The Next Level.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I don't think.
Yeah. Makes sense, Sony, I guess.
Yeah, I think maybe I guess they attached it to Jumanji. I didn't know that they attached it to Jumanji. I don't think. Maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, I think because I think I saw it twice. I think I saw it with each movie. But God, I loved it, and it's just if you want to talk about getting punched in the heart, like God, it was amazing. Yeah. It was so good, and it was so simple. But just so good, very well deserved.
Man, Sony Animation, they're kicking.
They are.
They've been killing it.
They really are. I mean, Into the Spider-Verse is arguably the best Spider-Man movie. I mean, I'm not going to argue with anybody who would say that.
No,
I'm not.
It's wild to think, and I'm saying this in a good way. It's wild to think that maybe like 10 years from now, even now, I guess, but like Miles Morales is going to be someone's Peter Parker, which has been someone's Peter Parker for like, the last 60 years or however, who knows, however long it's been since Spider-Man's been
50.
out. 50, yeah.
50
so
years.
it's going to be wild to think that, 20, 30, 40, 50, people are going to be looking back at Miles Morales as like, and arguably like the origin story, they've, of course had way more time to craft it and everything else.
Yeah.
But it's such a good Spider-Man story, and that's just going to be someone's Spider-Man. It is already today someone's Spider-Man, and I love that. I love that idea. So anyway, yeah, man. Every time I think about the movie, it's like, God, that was so good.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah. I'd love a Spider-Verse video game. I don't know why they don't do like a video game in that style with Miles Morales. That would be wild.
Give them time.
Yeah.
Give them time. They'll come around to it.
Absolutely.
I mean, we got some Miles in the PS4 game, so I'll give them.
We did, but I mean like.
I know you mean like a full
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them
like
time.
I for some reason nowadays I always prefer stylized over realistic.
That's fair.
I think it's one of the many reasons I love the Warcraft game is it's so stylized, but it makes it just feel so fleshed out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. So the Hair Love, I gotta check that out. Yeah, I'm sure that I could find that somewhere.
It's I would imagine they may have put it up somewhere. Like
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Best original score went to Joker, which I loved because the music in that is so well done.
Mm-hmm.
It's properly atmospheric. It's so good. There's not a wasted note in that score.
Right. The music's very integral to that movie.
Yes, absolutely. So very, very cool that. Best original song went to I'm Gonna Love Me Again from Rocket Man. Which, yes, all the times, yes, because it's Elton John. Like,
still haven't seen that. I gotta check that out.
Oh, it's good. It's very good. It's much more. It's more stylized than Bo Rap was.
Yeah.
But it's also a lot less formulaic. I mean, I loved Bohemian Rhapsody, but it's a very, like, how the story beats are gonna work. Rocket Man is much more is a visual feast in a sense.
Okay.
It's really good. It's its own kind of rockumentary, if you will. It's so good. Definitely worth checking out.
Cool.
And I mean, it's Elton John. It's how can you go wrong?
Right.
But so that was best original song, well deserved. Best sound editing, Ford versus Ferrari, agreed, no question. Sound mixing, 1917, can't argue with that. I think that was like the only other one that Star Wars was nominated for, so I was kind of pulling for that one. But again, I don't hate it. I can't argue with it. Like it's really good. Where were we? Production design, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think that was almost a ringer. Like I don't even think that was fair.
Right.
Because there was no way that wasn't gonna win.
But it created Hollywood back then.
Yeah, but it deserved it. It absolutely, hands down, deserved it.
Oh yeah,
Just because of all the different designs, like so many and so good. But you absolutely felt like this was Hollywood in the 70s.
Right.
Full stop. But we go from that to cinematography. 1917 was a shoo-in. Like there was no debate. There just wasn't. It was always going to be this.
Yeah.
For as good as anything else was, this was just miles and miles beyond anything else.
Right.
There was no way. Hair and makeup went to Bombshell. Again, a good choice. Can't argue with that. Costume design, Little Women, agreed, hands down. Film editing, Ford vs. Ferrari. That was one of my favorite films of the last year, so I'm never going to argue with an award it wins.
Right.
I could see people saying 1917, and they, I wouldn't have said they were wrong. And then visual effects, 1917. Again, we talked about that. I can't argue with it, but it wouldn't have been my choice.
Yeah.
But
no. I mean, for the most part, it seems like there were some surprises in here, but for the most part, it doesn't seem like anyone was like, how could that win?
Right. They weren't bad, but they weren't how did this win kind of surprises. Right. They were like, how dare this movie? Those kind of surprises. It was like, oh man, this was awesome. Like we didn't expect this, but that's really cool. Those kind of surprises.
Yeah, totally.
And those are always fun. You love those.
Yeah.
But
cool.
All in all, it's a good spate of awards. It was a good show. It was a fun show. But it was a good night. It was a good night for movies. They really need to remember that black people act. Really,
that was Joaquin Phoenix's big speech at the BAFTA.
Yeah. This year was just about compassion. That was his Oscar speech. If I had to sum it up, I would say compassion. But it's a ride. It's wild.
Yeah. Oh
yeah. It's there was a lot of deserved shade thrown at the fact that where are about Oscars still so white, and it's true.
Yeah,
it's very true.
I mean, there's some steps forward, like especially with movies like Parasite and whatnot winning.
Yeah.
But
there's
leaps. There's still leaps and bounds more to go.
It's one step forward, two steps back. It always seems like. And
I feel like the representation is represented in a lot of the categories, except for like actor, actress, supporting actress.
Right? How Eddie Murphy wasn't nominated for Dolomite is a crime, because damn did he earn it. Like I'm really surprised he wasn't nominated, and he should have been.
Exactly.
But,
exactly.
It's not a case of, oh, we need to find somebody to put in there. They earn it. They absolutely deserve these nominations.
Right. Oh yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's seeing Parasite win, to kind of Taika Waititi, like there's some there's some categories where it's like, okay, finally some representation, but a lot of the big ones like actor, actress, all that, it's not.
Director. I mean, Greta Gerwig not being nominated for
Director.
Little Women was another travesty.
Right. But you had what, Bong Joon-ho win for that one, right? This year?
It's and again, thrilled, genuinely thrilled for him and for that whole team and that whole crew.
Yeah.
And his translator had a night too, and I don't have her name in front of me. I had it a little while ago, and she to be on point like she was that whole night.
Yeah, I gotta watch it. Yeah, it was like one of the, like I said, I've been lost in Azeroth this week, so it was one of the times where like all my friends were on. I should socialize some bit. I was on, in the chat. I contemplated. I was like, oh, I want to watch it, but then I thought about watching it later, and I was like, no, it's kind of watching a game later.
Yeah,
I already know the outcome, but yeah.
Sharon Choi is her name,
Okay.
and she is also a filmmaker. She's working on a feature length screenplay of her own, so that's gonna be very cool.
Cool.
But yeah, watch his speeches and go in order. It's what is it? It's best screenplay. I think it's best screenplay, best international, best director, and then then watch best picture so that you can see. Hopefully, they kept in like how they were gonna cut them out, and the whole like crowd was just like, no, these people deserve this moment. We're gonna have this. Because it's a really great movie. Like it'll make your heart swell. It's fantastic. But and then there's a video that Variety had of him, because after the show they go and they get the little engravings done on the awards, and he puts them up there for the engravers, and they're taking him and they're congratulating him, and he looks at him and he goes, I'm very sorry for all the hard work. There's too many of them. And it's beautiful because he's not bragging. He's really just like, I don't know what's happening here. I don't feel like I deserve this. I'm so grateful. I thank you. This I don't even know. It's so pure. It's fantastic. And he's, I get done with Parasite and I'm gonna want to watch whatever else he has done.
Oh yeah,
because it's fantastic. It's so great. His speeches are fantastic. His first one is very much the sincere kind of this. I love this movie and we did everything and thank you so much. And the end of the second one is like, thank you. I promise I drink a lot tonight. And he does the same thing at the end of the third one. It's like the second one is very much like, I'm going to drink after the award show. After the third one, after Best Director, he's like, I'm really going to get drunk. But it's so earnest and so heartfelt. Like you love this guy by the time you're done watching these speeches. He's just so pure. It's fantastic.
That's great. Yeah,
so good.
I was trying to find it online while you were going over it. Just saw this. I guess there's an article about Please Enjoy Bong Joon-ho and Taika Waititi not knowing what to do with their Oscars.
Yes. That's great.
It shows Taika like putting it underneath his seat, like if he's on a plane, he doesn't know where to put it.
He puts another seat in front of him. That's so good.
That's great. That's great.
It's fantastic because this is what you love to see. There are the people that have fun with it the other way. Where we're gonna have this this award enshrined and everything. Who go like that whole extravagant route with it in humor. And get it. Like, yes, this is a huge deal, but we also have to not take ourselves tremendously seriously. And then you have this end of the spectrum where it's just like, this thing, what do I do with this? Like, I never imagined being here. What is this?
Yeah. Exactly.
But I was, so, like, I'm very excited to see what he does next. And I want to see what else he's done.
Yeah. I think it's great, especially for those two people, man. The what they did. Now I don't know Parasite, especially with like Jojo Rabbit, like to do something like that. That's so fucking risky.
It's a massive risk when you're like, yes, here's a satire where we're focusing on a child and his imaginary friend Hitler. Like that's like you are asking for a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very problematic. And to see it and to see those two people to win. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Something that I should have realized. Getting back to Bong Joon-ho for a second, I can give you one movie that he did.
Okay.
Snowpiercer.
Oh
He did
yeah, I saw that
Snowpiercer.
on Netflix.
Yes, he did Snowpiercer. And if
Wow.
if anybody has not seen Snowpiercer by now, shame on you. It's amazing.
Yeah,
And
that was one of those. It was like, I remember you were telling me, you were like, this is gonna look dumb at first. It's gonna look like it's a movie about a train that can't stop, but just go with it, and yeah, it's wild.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah, it's no good. I forgot. I genuinely
Chris
forgot
Evans.
he did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that he directed that. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so that gives you an insight into, if that was that good, how good must Parasite be? It's that good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But what else is there? There's the host. I don't remember the host. I mean, I remember it, but I don't remember it. Like, I remember when this was a thing, but I never saw it. But that was another one he did.
He did the host.
He did the host, yeah. 2000.
That's the one with the creature. Yeah, that makes sense. That's right. He's from Korea. That was the Korean film, with like the monster from the lake, and it like comes up on shore. This was years ago, dude. This was right out of high school, I think.
2006.
Yes. Okay, yes, it was a couple years. I remember renting this at Blockbuster, I think. Wow.
But yeah,
yeah. I remember seeing that.
But yeah, this one was his too. He wrote and directed this one too.
That's awesome.
So yeah. So I want to go back through, because there's a few that he's done that I had, like, I never saw the host. There was another one here. It's come back to me. Memories of Murder is apparently another one that's very, very good. And it was one of his first. So I'm down. Like, I really want to check these out. I need to finish Parasite first, but
right. Yeah, man. Oh, that's crazy. I was thinking about the host, but I didn't know I didn't know he was attached to that. I was thinking about like foreign films that I saw that were really good.
Yep.
And that one was good.
Yep.
I just remember there was like this creature under a bridge or something, and it was wild.
But very, very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So that covers the Oscars. But yeah, go watch his speeches. Watch M's performance. Trying to think if there were any other big highlights. Steve Martin and Chris Rock did a fun little like dialogue.
That's cool.
It was neat. But it was basically just about how there are no hosts, and it's great because it opens with Steve saying, "Chris, you and I have both hosted the Oscars for, and I have to say this is a wonderful demotion," and it just kind of rolls. It's funny. But yeah, check out the highlights, especially Bong's speeches, because they're so fantastic. But we'll cut through some of the headlines. There's not a ton of news this week, which is good because we've spent almost 2 hours on the Academy Awards. We got news. We are finally going to get the Hamilton movie, which I'm very, 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 very excited about.
Yeah.
October 15th, 2021. It's obviously not going to be this year for contract reasons. There was, whenever you do a filming of a Broadway show, the rights are very, there is a big tangled web because of all of the different union organizations that go into both Broadway and Hollywood. So it's a whole. It's just very, very tangled. There's just a lot to have to get through, and everything, just because they're two very different media in a sense, and that's why stuff like that usually, it's why we get a lot of movie versions of musicals, or very like like almost like off-Broadway filmed versions, kind of.
Yeah.
But what they did, like, this is already filmed. It's already filmed and done. It's just a matter of the way the rights work. They're not able to release it. I don't think they were able to release it until this year, but because we have In the Heights coming out this summer, they're gonna put this off till next year, which I'm fine with. It's what they're calling a live capture film, which is basically just a multi-camera filming of the performance, but they're very dynamic cameras.
Okay.
It's not just, oh hey, we pointed 3 cameras on stage from a balcony or something.
Okay.
It's more dynamic than that.
Cool.
But very, 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 very excited.
Didn't they do this? They did this with the Book of Mormon, right?
Did they? I was not aware of that.
I thought they did. I could be wrong.
I don't think there was a movie version of the Book of Mormon yet.
Okay. I felt like it came out in the theaters though. At some point.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Sure. Yeah. I saw I remember seeing the trailers in the theater. I could be wrong though.
I really feel like I would remember that.
Yeah.
It's possible I don't. It's very possible I don't.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're probably right. I don't know why I saw trailers. I put in the Book of Mormon movie and it's just all these bad movies.
Oh god, don't do that, because there was one in 2002 or 3 or something, and it's just awful. Because it's actually the Book of Mormon.
Right.
Oh, no.
Right. Right, yeah. So Broadway, first U.S. national tour, Chicago, West End, second European. Yeah, you're right. I guess it did not go to the theater.
Now, at least not yet. I really feel like there's gonna be.
I feel like that could be one that has enough mainstream appeal, like Hamilton.
Oh yeah. Oh, no question. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean that's what starred Josh Gad or whatever.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm pretty. Yeah, I think Josh was in this. Wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was. He was one of the elders.
Yeah.
But and it's really funny because Jonathan Groffman was in Hamilton, and where is it that their paths cross? Oh, it's gonna bother me. I feel like it's Frozen, because I'm pretty sure Groff is help me out here. The guy in Frozen, the only one.
Kristoff.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know why I was drawing such a blank.
Yeah.
But so good. So very good.
Yeah.
But so that'll be neat. We'll get that. We get that next year. Coming from Disney. Disney acquired the rights for $75 million.
Oh my god.
Craziness, but hey, there is absolutely demand for it, and this will sell out like crazy.
Oh yeah, and it'll be cool to have that on Disney Plus.
I am going to be very interested in how.
Hey, if they got the rights, they got the rights.
They got the rights.
Yeah, you pay that much money, I bet bottom dollar it's gonna be on Disney Plus after in the theater.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just curious because I seem to remember there is some fairly strong language at points.
It's okay.
Is it though? I don't see a lot of Disney movies with the F word in them.
You think the movie's gonna be rated R?
I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting. That's for sure.
Are there any movies on the Disney Plus?
No, there are not.
Man, that would be a shame if that's not on there.
PG-13 is as far as it'll go, and I wonder.
I guess Hulu.
Maybe, but I feel like they can. I'm just kind of wondering if there is And
Is all the F words needed, or are they able to move it to like one?
that's kind of what I'm wondering, if they can get rid of them entirely.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I do not have an answer, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
we shall see. We shall see.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's gonna be interesting. We got the first trailer for Fast 9.
Oh boy, did we!
Did we ever? You gotta hand it to them. They really know what they're doing.
I told you.
You know,
I've been calling this for years.
you absolutely have, and
I told you they gotta bring him back.
I always was just like, somebody. At this point, like, I keep forgetting we're watching a comic book universe, so of course nobody
totally.
stays dead.
Nobody stays dead. Absolutely.
It's gonna be something to watch, that's for sure.
You think they'll bring Gal Gadot back?
Gal
Gadot, how did she die?
Like, she fell off the plane.
Hey, things can happen.
I mean, you know, Han got blown up, so I don't know what to tell you.
Is it really Han, though?
Don't even start with this.
I mean, I think that's why they had him eating when he walked in, because I was like, they gotta be like, is that a clone? Is that really him? He's eating. It's gotta be him.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's very fair.
That was my thought when people were like, no, I'm trying to think of his death and if they actually showed it, because I don't think they showed him. Like, it's one of those, he'll be pulled away or something like that. My theory is that he set that up. He wanted to disappear and actually go. He was tired of that life, and that was his way to actually retire.
Maybe. But,
I don't know. I have to go back and watch Fast and Furious 3 again to see if that would even make sense in that. It doesn't make sense, but anyway.
Is there the wiggle room for that, where you can look at it and just go, I see it, fine, fair. Like that grudging sort of like, yeah, okay. I really feel like, though, they show him in the car. Like, it's that kind of shot where it's like him, they're looking at the car and it's like him through the windshield, and then it explodes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They'll definitely have a lot of explaining to do.
Yeah.
What is that?
Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
Yes, exactly. You know where I was going with that.
Yeah.
But I am so thrilled. I've never been so hype watching a trailer in so many years than when that moment happened. I literally stood up.
Yeah.
I got texts from people. I got texts from people telling me, "Oh my God, Adam, did you see this? They thought of me when they saw that moment."
Nice.
And I thought, like my Facebook. One of my friends, she's like, "Oh my God, I saw that on Facebook. I immediately thought of you." Because, like, yes, that. I'm glad that people think I identify with Han so much at that moment that they thought of me. But, man, I couldn't have been more thrilled. The series, we've talked about it, how just flat out ridiculous is. And the more you just lean into that, the more fun you have. From what I understand, they want the next one to be the final one.
The next one is going to be the final one. And Vin Diesel is even talking about it being in 2 parts.
Totally. Of course it's going to be like Endgame.
It's, well, like, I mean, like, everything. Hunger Games did it. Harry Potter did it. Like, why not, you know?
Yes.
So it's like, we're going to do 10, but it's going to be like 10-1 and 10-2. Suddenly I'm having Final Fantasy flashbacks.
And yes, exactly. And I imagine it will be exactly like the Marvel movies, where they're even calling this the Fast Saga. So this will be the end of the saga, but I guarantee you there will be way more Fast and Furious movies. It just might not be.
Although, I mean, there'll be spin-offs like crazy. We're gonna have more than just Hobbs and Shaw. I can almost guarantee that.
Yes. There'll be spin-offs, and then maybe in 10 years they all get back together again, which is maybe the kind of a cool way to do it.
I wouldn't hate that. Like, give that some time to pass and then do it that way. I wouldn't hate that.
Absolutely. Now you got Ryan Reynolds, you got Kevin Hart, and now if you had spin-off movies, you can introduce very different characters and have different kind of movies.
Yeah.
Like, now that Han's back, dude, I want more in Tokyo. Like, that was just so different and so cool, and it's such a style to it. I want more of that. So I hope we get more of that. Who's the one directing this?
It's
Is it
it's not Jeremy Lin again, I don't think.
Man, if they could get him back.
You'll probably be able to pull it up faster than I will. I could not tell you. F9. No, it is not Jeremy Lin. Excuse me, Justin Lin. It is Justin Lin. Yeah,
it is. Okay, cool. Yes. That's why I wanted to be doing it.
Jeremy Lin was what, a basketball player?
I'm not sure.
It's gonna bother me now because I know that name from somewhere.
I thought you said Justin Lin, so maybe you did say Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy Lin's a basketball player. Justin Lin.
Awesome. That's who I wanted to do it. And he did. He's doing 10. He did what, 6?
Where I think he came on board on 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, there's so many different names. Like, there was Fast and Furious, but it wasn't the Fast and Furious. But I think that was like
that was 6.
The 6th one.
No, that was 4.
Okay, so he came on for Tokyo Drift. He did the 4th one. I guess he did the 5th. He did the 6th. And he's doing 9. And he's doing 10. Okay. So
I have to. It's gonna bother me that I can't remember because The Fast and the Furious was 1. Too Fast, Tokyo Drift. What was Too Fast, Too Furious? Tokyo Drift. Fast and Furious was 4. Fast and Furious 6 was literally just Fast and Furious 6.
Yes.
Okay. Furious 7, Fate of the Furious, and now F9, which is just like... it was like they just gave up.
F9.
Yeah.
Isn't it a command on it?
It is. Keyboard? I don't know what it does. But...
Right. What if they just call the last one Fast and Furious Endgame?
I got nothing for you, man.
This is a big shot across the board.
I wouldn't be surprised. To be
across the bow. What's that phrase?
Bow. Yeah, across the bow.
Yeah. Man. Oh, I love this franchise. I love how ridiculous it is.
It is. And you have to remember that when you sit down and watch like any of it.
Yeah.
You have to remember it's just kooky. And it's intentionally kooky, like it's supposed to be.
Yes. Oh yeah. People give me the eye roll when I tell them Tokyo Drift's my favorite.
That was my first Fast and Furious movie. Was Tokyo Drift.
Oh really? We probably talked about this before.
But we have to have at some point.
Yeah. That's wild. That was the first one you saw.
Yep.
Wow.
Because I had no interest in it, and it was like, no, but this one looks kind of cool, and I feel like this came out it was either around the same time as Need for Speed Underground, the first one, the good one for GameCube, either came out or I was getting into it, and it was like, oh, this is about, because it had drifting in it, and I had never, like, this was something I'd never heard of. I'm like, I don't know what the hell this is.
Oh man, so many things not copied this, but so many things saw this and was like, yes, let's put it in the games.
Yeah.
Let's put it in this. Let's put it in that. Especially, I feel like Need for Speed looked at the Fast and Furious series and we're like, let's kind of ape that, like, as it goes along.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, the first one was the original. That was the first one I saw, and I liked it, but I'm not a car guy, so like it didn't get my hairs didn't stand up when I saw it. I didn't understand a lot of the, I know cars enough to make sure it's not going to break down and to know, I change my oil and stuff like that, but I'm not a car guy, right?
Right.
Just like a lot of people aren't. They like video games, but they couldn't put a PC together if they're life-saving. So that kind of thing. Like, I'm not a car guy. So I saw the first one and I was like, okay. Like, it's got some funny quotes and like it was cool racing and stuff. The second one I hated. I was not a fan of the second one.
The second one tried to be like the new Bad Boys, I feel like.
Yes, I don't know what, I don't know if it was because it was Tyrese or something just set me off. I've never really been a fan of Tyrese movies, but something just made me not a fan of that. And then the third one is what just got me back. My buddy saw it in the theater and he was like, you have to see this, Adam. I think you would love this movie. It's really cool. And I had totally written off the Fast and Furious series as that's not interest me at all. And then for whatever reason, the story about him going over to Japan just to fish out of water and getting involved in street racing was just, I thought it was the coolest thing. and I just thought of course Han, his name's Han Solo. I thought that was so fucking cool. Everything about that film I thought was just stylistic. I just loved the style of it.
Yeah.
I loved how ridiculous it was, and that's when I embraced the ridiculousness of it. It was from that movie forward, and I was like, okay, I'm in. Like, I'm totally in. And then it just got even more ridiculous, because, like, the next few ones, they brought the cast back, and then finally they brought The Rock in, and that's really where it set off.
Yeah, that was when they were like, oh, you thought we were weird and hard before. Like,
yes.
Watch this.
Yes. And then it just became, like, just this ridiculous ride, and that's what it is. And once you embrace that, and maybe that's the problem I had, is I didn't embrace it in the second one, but that third one really roped me in.
Well, because I feel like the second one was still trying to be kind of serious,
right?
Like not to the level that the first one was, but because the first one is like a very serious kind of, like, it's about cars and smuggling,
right?
Like it's a legit. It's trying to be like a crime movie.
Maybe it's the video game head of me, but I like, it felt like Persona before I knew what Persona was.
That's fair.
Like a fish out of water. Like, that's the setup of every Persona game, is like, this kid goes to a new town, and, you know, he's got to get mixed in with these kids and get, like, whatever reason, that part of that story I really connected with, and I thought, that's awesome. And it wasn't just a new city. It was like, it's this kid with, like, a southern accent suddenly going to Japan.
Yeah, you've got the Alabama kid going to Tokyo. Like, that's just
right.
Like, that's never going to work.
Right, exactly. And I, for whatever reason, I loved it, and I thought Han was the coolest character, and then what happened to him? Ever since then, you know, I've been like, he's got to come back, and then especially with Jason Statham, I was mad ever since, because he shouldn't be invited to the barbecue after that. So I'm sure we'll get some answers. Maybe. Yeah. we got to know. So anyway, I can't wait for this. I kind of want to own this series, but there's 9 movies. It's kind of expensive.
Oh, I'm sure you can pick up, like, if you don't want to get like an official collection kind of deal, I'm sure you can find the first couple like in the $5 bin.
Yeah.
Easy.
For sure. I think there's got to be like a deal digitally, right? Because I would actually kind of prefer that.
I would imagine so.
Furious collection. Let's see here.
There's
8 movie collection digital. No, actually, the whole collection for 8 movies for 4K is $74.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I'm seeing it here on Amazon. That's not bad at all.
DVD $38, Blu-ray $44. That's actually way cheaper than I thought, because that's like the price of getting all of the, like, Lord of the Rings extended editions or something. That's like 3 movies.
Yeah, no, that's not. That's genuinely not bad. No, 40. So I'm looking at $45 Blu-ray for all of them, and that's not
Here's
bad.
The problem is they have a collection after every movie. So do I probably wait until the 10 come out?
Yeah, I mean, it's like trying to get Marvel collections. Like, just wait.
Just wait, and then by the time it comes out, it's like, well, I have them all on Disney, so should I?
Yeah, except you won't.
That's true. You're right. We should always buy physical.
Yep.
Yeah. Man.
But
cool.
So there was that. Where are we on the notes here? I've lost my place. Oh, speaking of Disney and Marvel, Doctor Strange 2, we know that its director left over the fabled creative differences issue. So they are courting other directors, and apparently they are talking to Sam Raimi to direct.
I don't know about that.
No, I don't either. I actually think this is a bad idea.
That's a terrible idea. I did see that they got one of the writers from Rick and Morty to come in and help with the writing for this.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I like that. Rick and Morty is pretty smart when it comes to that stuff. I know there's a stereotype of, I don't know, people being on the internet ridiculous about Rick and Morty, like, oh, you're not intelligent enough to understand it. It's not like that, but like, the writing is smart, and I think that it gets what am I trying to explain?
It gets
weird.
Okay.
Rick and Morty gets very weird, very timey-wimey, very very Dungeons and Dragons, I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like Rick and Morty, it I don't know how to explain it. They do that kind of humor very well, where it's very timey-wimey, it's very science, it's very, but like goofy science. Does that make sense? Like not like
Yeah,
like they're not talking about astrophysics, but like it does a good job at explaining very much weird multiverse stuff. Like there's a whole episode where I don't know, dude, it's so hard to explain without sounding like an idiot. I guess when I saw this, I just thought that actually makes a ton of fucking sense for Doctor Strange 2, which is all about the multiverse.
Yeah, fair enough.
That kind of writer. I know that show gets so much shit because of the fan base, but like I don't think that's fair. Like I feel like I like that show, but I don't tell people about it because of how it's kind of like Star Wars now, I guess. Like I love the movies, even the ones that are garbage. I'm still like, okay, like I wasn't crazy about that, but I'm also not going to be crazy about that. And I feel like that's what's happened with Rick and Morty.
Fair enough.
Is that their fan base is so toxic, but the show's good. You know, it's good writing. So I liked that. But Sam Raimi, God, no. What was the last thing he directed?
No, he didn't direct Crawl. What was the last?
Wizard of Oz?
What?
Didn't he do the Oz movie?
Oh, Oz the Great and Powerful, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He's done things since, but I can't remember what. Sam Raimi, filmography. The last movie he directed was Oz the Great and Powerful. Wow, damn, really?
Yeah.
Holy hell.
That was, yeah.
It's been 7 years. Jesus.
And those, like, I don't know. Those Spider-Man movies, the first one, the second one, great, but he also did the third one. And it's just such a different style compared to nowadays. That kind of comic book movie I don't want in 2020.
Yeah. No, one of the guys at work said this best. When you give Sam Raimi a budget, he forgets how to direct.
Oh wow.
His best movie, because I mean Evil Dead he made for like $250 and some cheese sticks.
That's
like
true.
That was the budget for that movie. But when he gets money, I mean, and look at the Spider-Man movies. They live and die with their villains.
But here's the thing: is his style and that, like, because you do see some of that style in the Spider-Man movies, and that works for back then.
Yeah.
Now it comes off as
it's
weird.
It's hokey almost,
Okay,
I hate that, but it is. It's very of its time, and I don't think I love the idea of something being Raimi-esque, but I don't want to actually see it be a Raimi production.
I tell you what, if they somehow did a multiverse Spider-Man movie, and he enters those movies at some point, it would be neat to see him direct that part of the movie just to keep real with it. That would be
fair.
neat.
Fair, I'm alright with that.
Dude, imagine a Spider-Man television show where it was multi-dimensional and they hopped between dimensions, and one of the episodes was directed by Sam Raimi, and they got Tobey Maguire and all of them back on board for an episode. That would be cool to see.
It would. It's never going to happen, but it would.
Never going to happen. And in the next episode, you can have a completely different director, that would be fun, but not as like, here's the next movie. Or I'm sorry, here's Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Where it's like that character is on thin ice to begin with, I think.
Yeah.
Out of all the movies that came out around that time from Marvel, that one I think probably did the weakest. That one you really got to knock out of the park. This is kind of like a Thor 2 situation where a lot of people liked. I think a lot of people liked the character, but they thought the movie was forgettable.
Yeah.
And so this is where you really gotta do something different, and like what they did with Thor 3 was perfect.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna do Doctor Strange, I think that writer for the Rick and Morty is awesome because that show just dives into multiverse. That's all that show is about, actually, is them going into the multiverse and trying to not kill themselves and all sorts of crazy shit, while also being funny. That's kind of what you want from Doctor Strange. His moments in Thor 3 were some of my favorite.
Yeah.
Absolutely, where like with the beer and everything else, like that's perfect. That's what you do with Doctor Strange. You make it fucking weird and crazy and kooky and bizarre and like timey-wimey and him trying to not fuck himself over in the multiverse or whatever. It's just it's literally perfect. But yeah, Sam Raimi, I don't know about that.
I don't think that's a great idea. It's not where I want to see that go.
Also, it's the same writer for Loki, the one doing the Doctor Strange.
Oh, he's doing the Loki series as well.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, they are going to these things are all going to be connected.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess he did. It makes sense for Rick and Morty. He also did Harmon Quest, which is like their Dungeons and Dragons. Which, by the way, did you know Rick and Morty is an official Dungeons and Dragon thing?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, like apparently they're so into it. So anyway, yeah. So, man. Loki. We haven't talked. Did we talk about that trailer?
I don't think so. I don't think we've been here since Super Bowl.
Okay. Yeah. So that was my favorite part of that trailer, where he was like, "I'm gonna burn it all to the ground."
Well, because this is pre-redemption Loki. Like,
yes.
This is still evil tyrant wants to conquer Earth and is afraid of Thanos Loki.
Yep.
Like,
I love that. I love that he was just like, "I'm gonna burn everything to the ground." That was probably the best. Well, I don't know, the Wakanda, or not Wakanda, the Vision Wanda stuff was also super cool.
Yeah.
Where they're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And all of that, it makes sense. All of that is tying into Multiverse of Madness, Loki, and Wakanda Vision.
WandaVision.
Wanda, why do we keep saying Wakanda? Jesus, what's wrong with me? It's getting late. But this all makes sense. They're all tied into each other, and I guarantee you she's probably the catalyst for all of it.
We'll see. It'd be interesting.
All of the universe breaking. Yeah. That's cool. So where were we?
Well, we're talking about mistakes that Disney and Marvel are making. Here's another one. We're going to get a live-action CG mix remake of Lilo and Stitch, because of course we are.
I could see that.
Here's the thing. Literally the only thing about this that gives me any kind of hope is that Chris Sanders is going to be voicing Stitch again.
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch was loved by a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I absolutely adore. Like, Lilo and Stitch is one of my favorite Disney movies. That's why I don't want to see this.
Oh, it's not going to ruin what came before.
I know. I just don't like. I don't have faith that this is going to be good. I'm not one of those who says, well, ruin the original, because then you just shut up and go back and watch it.
I know you're not. I shouldn't have said that, but I don't know. I think that's a neat idea.
It is, and I'm curious, but my biggest thing is I worry about the design for Stitch. That's my only thing, because I have, I'm PTSD, which is post-traumatic sonic disorder now.
Well, I honestly do hope a lot of studios saw what happened there and go, hey, these things that are beloved, it's okay to make them a little bit realistic, but let's stick to what actually has worked for all this time. I think if anything, it will look more like a Detective Pikachu.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of those Pokemon looked fucking weird in real life, but it wasn't as bad. Like, Pikachu looked like Pikachu. That was the most important thing.
Right.
And I think that's the route they'll go, and that's kind of what they did with Sonic in this new one or when they redid him, is he looks like he's a real character there, but he looks like Sonic. His eyes are just, disproportionate, whatever that word.
Yeah, no, I got you.
But I think they're smart enough to do that now.
I hope so.
That would be really weird if they were like, some guy comes in, so I got this really cool idea where we just make him pink and then we move his eyes around to the back. Yeah, that would be really fucking weird.
So like one of the other 625 experiments.
Right, exactly. Yes. Yeah. I think they're smart enough to know that that he's the most iconic image of that movie. You can't mess with that.
And oh man, just because I love it, I genuinely adore that movie. I really want to go back and watch it again. Because Jumba is a fantastic character. That would be unethical. I would never, ever make more than one.
See, I gotta see this movie again. I gotta tell you, I've only seen it a couple times.
Oh, go back and watch it. It's so good. Lilo and Stitch is just a fantastic movie.
Hey, it's on Disney Plus. I'm actually going to see that.
Go do it because it's so. Oh, I love Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, you're right. I'm looking at what like the live action remake might looks like a koala bear. Or something.
Yeah. It's like
That's terrible. It can't look like that.
No, it's like I have fear. Like I see that and I'm just like no.
Oh my god, that does look terrible. No. Hopefully they make them look way more. They gotta make them look cute, but also like this thing could eat you.
Right, and it's very different. It's like a dog in the sense of like, aren't dogs adorable things? And they're great and they're cute, and sometimes they're derpy too. And then sometimes you look at them and you just think, oh my god, run for your life.
Exactly.
Like that's it, and it's all in. That's all about expression. Like that's what's great about that. Those are about like, what is his face like? Is he?
And you're right, because if they make it look too realistic, you won't get that expression.
No, they have to. And the reason that I have fear about this is because of how much money Lion King made, and how it's like, hey, it looks amazing. Yeah, but it wasn't interesting.
Yeah, I would like to think that they saw that it made a lot of money, but also the critics were right about saying, hey, if there's really one thing we could change, we wish that they realize that it is an animated movie, and it's okay that the animals are expressing more. Like, it's okay. Like it's not going to completely take us out of it if the animals are way more expressive with their eyes and a little bit more stylized. I don't think it would have ruined the movie for anybody.
No.
Like, we have lions walking around talking and plotting their vengeance and stuff. Like, come on. Like, they think that's a bridge too far to make their eyes emote a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, so that'll be neat.
But
hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
In the meantime, go watch that when we get done here. Watch that, because I'm
gonna check that out.
I'm gonna watch Anaconda. Like, I still.
Oh god, Anaconda.
I blame you.
It's not a bad movie.
We
in
will
context.
Find out. There's the qualifier. There it is.
In that time frame, it was not a bad movie. I remember truly enjoying that as a kid.
That's probably fair.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll find out. I know last time we talked, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go watch this. And then I just didn't because I value my sanity. But I'm like, no, I'll try it this time. What the hell? I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. But, check it out.
I will. What else do we have? Oh, speaking of things that don't need to be made, Ryan and Andy Tohill, who did The Dig, are tapped to direct a reboot of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre because we need another one of those.
Yeah, okay.
So many better ideas. All I have to do is pick one. Hey, it's the Blacklist is a website that publishes these awesome screenplays that people in the industry have read and liked. Make one of those for a freaking change.
Right.
But I don't know. Interesting news. The Hunt. Remember that movie that was supposed to come out in September?
Yep.
Yeah, it's coming out in March. They're like, hey, you know what? We've changed our minds. We're going to release this movie. It could come out March 13th.
The country's cooled down a little bit. Wait, no, it hasn't. But
we haven't had a mass shooting in a while, so we'll go ahead and get this out of the way now. And it's like, my problem with this is that any slight attempt at cleverness you see in the trailer is undermined by the fact that it is just, I'm sorry, it's just a stupid premise. It's just stereotype group A hunts stereotype group B because. And that, like, there's no real cleverness to it.
Yeah, I don't remember the trailer.
The trailer is that rich liberals capture stupid conservatives and hunt them. That's your movie. As opposed to the other way around, where it would be like, backwoods Trump voting rednecks hunt,
Right,
minorities.
so it's reversed of what you would think.
It's just stereotypical and stupid, and those movies are always stupid, no matter like whether it's not about like who's the hero and who's the villain. To me, if it's not clever,
what was the one movie that stuck out to me? I think it was with like Ice-T. Surviving the Game.
I don't remember that.
Have you seen that?
I don't think I have.
It's called Surviving the Game.
Okay.
And it had Ice-T and who was the other guy in it? Rutger
Hauer?
Hauer, yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay. The guy from Blade Runner.
Yes. And I feel like this was the movie that and it's got a ton of people in it. It's got what's his name? Gary Busey, batshit crazy.
Oh God, really? Gary Busey's in this? Of course it is.
Yes. So this was the movie that stuck out to me, where like they invite Ice-T out to hunt with them, and he feels very uncomfortable because they're all just a bunch of white guys, just very different from him, and he really feels it the whole time in the beginning of it, and then they try to like welcome him in, they try to be cool or whatever. And then he realizes, like, oh, yeah, he's the one they're hunting.
Fair enough.
Yeah. This came out, like, 1994. So, again, of its time, I guess. But that was the only one that's ever stuck out to me. I feel like every other movie that's tried to do this is trying to copy that.
Yeah, they usually wind up bad because they just kind of are.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's not just a bunch of white people that are hunting him. There's a mixture of them. But that's what my mind thinks of when I think of that movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. I think there was a few people that were of color that were in the group, but that's what all of these movies remind me of. Anytime I see them, of like, we're hunting, we're hunting the ultimate game, which is humans, basically.
Yeah.
And as you can imagine, Ice-T doesn't go down without a fight. So
no, I can't.
It's one of those like, and again, I guess I was a kid, and so like it was very much like Predator or any of those action movies that your parents might rent at Blockbuster, because they're like, well, this will be fine.
Yeah.
Which, actually, thinking back, is probably fucking terrible. But I don't know. That's the one that sticks out to me, the Surviving the Game.
Fair enough.
So check it out. You might hate it.
Yeah, I'll watch it right after I watch Anaconda.
Yeah.
Just have myself
being super action packed.
Just have a big old double feature tonight.
There you go.
Oh boy.
Oh man, Gary Busey, Jesus.
Yeah, he was a thing.
Yeah, has a Charles S. Dalton in it too. Charles S. Dutton.
Not a name I'm familiar with. I'm sure I'd know it if I saw him.
When you see his face, you'd be like, oh, I know that guy. He was in Rudy, Alien 3, A Time to Kill. A lot of action movies. You'll see. If you do watch it.
Fair enough. God, a 1994 film. Yeesh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Surviving the Game.
Ice-T, Rutger Hauer. KBC. God, F. Murray Abraham is in this? Good God.
Yeah.
Charles S. Dutton. Oh, that guy.
Yes.
Okay, that guy. I remember him. I know, it's just like, oh yeah, that guy, which is
And again, this is a movie I haven't seen since probably 1994, or maybe 1996, whenever I would have rented it. But I just remember it being like, everything tries to be that movie. But yeah.
Charles S. Dutton, from such box office classics as Scooby-Doo WrestleMania Mystery.
There you go. Oh, did you see it's going to be in Hollywood next year?
Yeah, because they're building a brand new stadium, so they like paid for everything. Like they're getting that stadium is going to host like this. It's got like the Super Bowl in 2022, I think. It's got like they ponied up big for that.
The Rock's got to be in that one. They got to have John Cena and The Rock in that one. If you think about it, that would be perfect.
Here's a fatal 4-way for the WWE title for you: The Rock, John Cena, Batista, and The Miz.
That's true. They'd have The Miz win just to be funny.
Yes,
but
they would, because he's the only one that actually still wrestles.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I mean. Vince would be like, "Fuck you guys." But I don't even mean like a main event. I guess unfortunately that would be the main event if it was Rock and John Cena again.
Hey.
But that would definitely be crazy because they're going to be in the Fast and Furious movie in 10.
Yeah, they're gonna have to be,
right?
Yeah, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to meet at some point.
Yes. Oh, they'll both be invited to the barbecue.
Oh,
trust me. That's gonna be a wild scene to see those two at the barbecue together.
Have you seen the Sonic trailer that has like the little jab at the Fast and Furious movies?
No. What is it? What is it?
So there's a point. It's during the scene where they're in the truck and they're being chased.
Yeah.
Where, what's his name? Who's the human? I can't remember who he is. Decides he's gonna climb
Cyclops.
Yeah. He's gonna climb in the back and he's gonna take over.
Yeah.
He's gonna climb in the back of the truck and do some, I guess, cop stuff. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
And he puts the truck on cruise control because Sonic can't reach the pedals. And tells him he says, just keep us straight. I set it on cruise control. And Sonic gets behind the wheel and he's just like, I feel immediately like Vin Diesel.
Oh, that's funny.
It's all about family, Tom. And it's just like, oh my god, they did that joke.
Oh, that's so good.
They did that joke. Oh, I hate myself.
I've not seen this.
I hate myself. It was on YouTube. I saw it was on YouTube.
Oh, I gotta see
just
that.
Like,
that's funny.
I hate all of this. I hate it, but I love it. It's that kind of like I love it, but I hate it kind of deal. It's like I get it. Ugh, I don't want to laugh at this. Why am I laughing at this?
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense that they would make those jabs with him.
Yeah.
You know what doesn't make sense?
What?
How is Sonic not a part of Sonic the fast food restaurants like advertising? How do they have a deal with, like, I forget who they have a deal with. It's like Hardee's or something. How are they not tied up with Sonic? And they have chili dogs there.
I don't know. Our Sonic closed, so I wouldn't ask me.
Do you guys you don't have Sonic's around there anymore?
Not anymore. No, we had one, and it closed for remodeling, and apparently the remodeling was letting the weeds grow.
Oh my god, they're like, we're remodeling.
They left.
See you later. We're just going.
Yeah.
Man, that's like equivalent of like going for a pack of cigarettes and not coming back.
Yeah, basically.
Like that's Sonic.
That was what Sonic did to Statesville. They were like, "We'll be right back. We're gonna put a new roof on." They had just like that place had caught fire like not that long before, and they did remodel it.
Oh my god.
And then they put up on the sign they were like closed for remodel, and everybody's like, "What again?" And then just nobody ever came back.
Oh Jesus! I see. I always get like I always have like a warped viewpoint of what's big or small because Orlando, like, there's Sonics all over the place.
Yeah.
This is a bigger city, but I guess if it is a smaller city and there's only one or two, when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's like that's what happens in Statesville when places close. Like right next to the Sonic, there used to be a Longhorn Steakhouse. The employees came into work and found the note on the door: "Closed forever. Sorry."
What?
That was it. That
Closed forever.
Basically,
Oh
yeah.
God.
I don't remember exactly what it said, but that was the gist of it.
No, that's not hilarious, but I'm saying that would be crazy.
Yeah.
It just said closed forever.
The Marquee Theater here in Statesville closed. Just like in the last couple weeks, just gone. Just like they apparently there were some issues with the lease. I don't know the whole story, but it was another one of those things where it was like it was open and then it just wasn't.
Dude, what's happening to your town?
The same thing that's been happening for the last 10 years.
That's crazy.
Everything's leaving and nothing's coming in because...
I was laughing at first, but then it just seemed like one after the other, and now that really sucks.
And good luck trying to open a small business in Statesville because there's no money here. There's nothing here.
Man.
And if you're trying to open a reputable street pharmaceutical business, the cops are just all over you. Like that's
Wait,
all.
What?
That was a drug dealer joke.
Gotcha. I'm thinking of the pharmacist documentary. I'm like, is he making a reference to that?
No, if they're just like that's what we've got in Statesville. Meth. That's it.
Damn.
We're losing everything else. We lost Sonic. We lost our only movie theater, and it was a decent movie theater. Like I liked going there. It wasn't like some little hole in the wall. Oh my god, this place is disgusting kind of theater. It's a decent little place. And it was a 10 screen, which is big for a town like State. I mean, Statesville's got a population of like 22,000. It's not a big.
You said it was Marquee Cinema?
Yeah, Marquee Statesville 10, no longer open.
Wow.
It's crazy. And that's what's weird. Like, it's a 10 screen. A 10 screen isn't anything to sneeze at. Like, that's not bad. But, you know, it no mas.
Wow.
Oh, well, I guess. But yeah, stuff just leaves Statesville and nothing. Like, our mall is a tragedy. Our mall is nothing but just abandoned. There's like 3 stores. It's one of those where it's like, yeah, we've got a GNC and a Bath and Body Works and like 2 places that fix cell phones, and that's it. That's the mall. Yeah. The rest of it is just empty space. I think we still have a Belk. But like,
there's some malls like that here in Orlando. Like Orlando Fashion Square has been like that for a while.
Has it really? Because it wasn't that bad when I was there.
Oh, well, I mean, there's still stores in there, but it's like dead. Like, I don't even think there's a food court anymore, except for like 2 things in the food court.
That's crazy, because that wasn't like that when I lived there. Like, it wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad.
Right. It's still got the movie theater in there, which I think is kind of what's keeping it afloat. The Oviedo Mall is another one that will not be around in a couple of years. I think actually the city is going to, I think like a retirement home purchased it or something. And that has like more than 10 theaters, actually, now that I think about it. That has like a ton of theaters in it. Have you ever been to the Oviedo Mall?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Oviedo Mall is, no, I guess Fashion Square is bigger. But I feel like the theaters in the Oviedo Mall is what, like, they built everything around that. Like, it's the giant food court. The theaters are above it. There's probably 5 to 7 theaters on each side. And I went there to go see 1917. And it's got a bookstore in it. It's got a couple stores. But yeah, all the big stores left it. So like no Sears, no Macy's, no nothing.
Yeah.
And it's turned into a food court with a movie theater.
Dang.
Yeah, and like a couple like random stores where like you can go and, you know, paint something and drink wine. Like there's like a bunch of weird, not weird, but like just not mall stores.
Right. You think of a mall and, you think of, there's some kind of toy store and there's a Bath and Body Works and there's, a couple jewelry stores. Like, mall.
Like Altamont Mall is still that kind of mall. And then of course we have the Millennium Mall, which is like the big mall with like the fancy stores.
Yeah.
I still like going to Altamont because it's a normal mall. The Millennium, I feel like I feel like I get in there and suddenly I'm $50 short. And I'm like, how did this happen?
Right.
I just got on the escalator.
Yeah.
And I went by the Gucci store. What just happened?
Yeah. That's what happened. Like...
Right. So yeah, malls are a weird thing. I wonder if they will be around in 50 years.
No.
Yeah. The only places I see them are like big cities, which it doesn't even make sense in big cities. But like I see like LA, New York, Miami, Atlanta. I see like bigger cities having them, but from people just aren't going to them anymore. Unfortunately, they're not sustainable.
Yeah.
Wow, how did we? Where were we?
So welcome to the Oscars meets Urban Decay podcast.
Right. Oh yeah, we were talking about the hunt.
Yeah, and somehow we wound up on there are no more Sears. So.
Exactly. Rest in peace, Sears. Man. Oh man, it's a shame.
So Owen Wilson is going to be on the Loki show.
Yeah. Okay.
I have no segue.
So who do you think he's going to be on Loki?
I have no idea. He's got to be like Balder the Brave.
Yeah.
In like the most weird way possible, though. Like,
what if he's Loki?
If he's another version of Loki, I may cry.
What if he's Thor?
If he's another version of...
What if he's an annoying version of Thor?
People who saw the Dark World... People who saw Thor the Dark World may say that already exists.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I was just thinking, I was like, who would he play? He could literally be anybody.
Yeah.
But you're right. He's probably some. I think it'd be funny if he was Loki. Like, what wasn't it in Thor 3 where like they did a play, and it was.
And Matt Damon was Loki.
That's that'd be great, something like that. But anyway.
Yeah, Sam Neill was Odin.
Right.
Oh
right.
God.
It's wild that we got Thor 3 that it was in it.
And that's like we got Sam Neill and Matt Damon to be in Thor 3 without telling anyone.
Yeah, it's the man. Like, let these directors take some risks. Oh man.
I don't know.
So this next thing, One Piece, live action series going to Netflix. Have you ever seen One Piece?
I haven't. No, largely because it's an anime with it's one of those that has like 6 million episodes. So I'm like, I don't like. I know most of them are going to be filler, and I can't get into any. Like when I see an anime that has like 800 episodes, I'm just like, I don't. I just kind of walk away, even if it's amazing. I just kind of walk away. I'm like, I don't.
Did you ever start My Hero Academy or Academia?
Academia?
Academia.
I did, and I think I got through like the first season-ish. Was that like the first 20 or some episodes? That first arc.
Yes.
But I never got past that. Like I just kind of stopped after that and just never got back around to it.
We were gonna do the anime thing. I think we should totally still do that with My Hero.
Yeah, could do that.
I think we could latch on. That's not big enough to like where it's got 100 million episodes.
Yeah.
Where if we can nail down a time where we can watch like 3 or 4 and do that, I think that would be so cool.
Yeah, because it's like you said, that's not one. Because I mean, something like Pokemon. Pokemon's had what 600 episodes or something ridiculous. Yeah. Like it's nuts.
And I think it'd make it more fun to like, okay, we knock out a few, and then we can talk about it and dive into them.
Right.
It would. I think we could do that. So maybe we should talk about that and figure that out. I don't think we'd start over, right? I guess we'd start with season 2 or what?
We could, yeah. I figure.
Start over or start with season 2?
I think we just start with season 2. I think that'd probably be the best way to do it.
Yeah. Let's. And it doesn't even have to be that long. Like we could do like short episodes. It doesn't have to be like 2 hours long or anything like that. But just to kind of dive through it and make it just, I don't know. I just think that would be fun.
No, definitely, and it would give an incentive to watch it and to stay focused.
Yeah. Cool.
Start with that and see how it goes.
Yeah. Like what, 3 episodes?
Yeah, I think that sounds fair.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. Cool. Let's do that. So yeah, One Piece. I never saw the other one, the other anime that live action, the Death Note on Netflix.
It skip it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one that I did watch. The anime of, because it's a limited. It's like, hey, it's like 40 or whatever episodes. It's like, well, that I can do.
Yeah.
And I did that, and it was really good. And I didn't hate the Netflix version. I wasn't crazy about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it. But I mean, Netflix is doing. They're still doing Cowboy Bebop. Now they're doing One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like the only one they haven't done yet.
So. And they're doing Avatar.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Last Airbender.
Yeah.
Which is neat. Which I guess is an anime, but
I mean,
it's
not.
I feel like it's in the conversation.
It is anime-ish. It's very much like somebody was like, "Hey, what if we did this, but like Western style?" It's a very Western. I'm trying to think of how to do this. It's honestly like a Nickelodeon anime.
Yes,
that's the best way I can put it.
It's an anime gateway drug for a lot of people that generation, I think.
That's fair. I think that's very fair.
I think Dragon Ball Z was probably for our generation. Is what like got a lot of kids our age into it, and I think Avatar was right after that.
Yeah,
kids saw that and they were like, "Yeah, let's jump into it."
Yeah,
which is cool.
Yeah, we were the Dragon Ball Sailor Moon generation, and after us was very much the Avatar and I know there's one that I'm trying to think of that I can't think of.
There were ones before us, like there was a Gundam, that one that just came. There was like what, Akira, Trigun. I even think Cowboy Bebop was before us.
Cowboy Bebop was actually around the same time as us. Cowboy Bebop.
Really?
Cowboy Bebop ran on Toonami with Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon.
Oh wow, I keep forgetting Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z were like 80s, but we saw it in the 90s.
Yeah. Dragon Ball especially. Right. Z was concurrent with us, I think, but Dragon Ball was before us.
That's right. No, you're absolutely right. Cowboy Bebop was 1998. So you're absolutely right. I guess for whatever reason in my head I was thinking it was more 80s, but that just might be because of the art style.
It's very much the art style. I mean, Akira was very 80s because it was, but Akira was one of those, like, that was... You can kind of break anime down by not so much generations in terms of, like, kids, but I look at there's, like, sibling generation gaps when it comes to anime. Like, Akira is our older brothers, we're Dragon Ball Z, Avatar is more like our younger brothers and sisters, that kind of deal.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I'll still watch anything Dragon Ball Z that comes out. Like, I never finished Super. But
I never started really with Super.
Man, maybe we do that after. Woo!
That's one, because that's one, like, I keep hearing about, and I'm like, I know, I'll get there. I will get there eventually.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how we do with My Hero and see if that's something we want to do.
It's just because I don't do subbed well. I just don't. I am a dubbed guy. Like, I need my anime dubbed.
Oh, well, me too, absolutely. And I think it works well, especially with animation. I think live action I do like subtitled more, but I've been watching Dragon Ball Z dubbed since the beginning, so it never bothered me. When I tried to do a few other different animes subtitled, I just felt like I was reading, like you said, like you're trying to go through the episodes. And you're like at 5 or 6, and I'm just like, no, I need this dubbed.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, that's cool. What else we got from Netflix?
Castlevania Season 3.
Hell yeah! I didn't see Season 2.
Oh, you have to watch Season 2.
I saw Season 1, but not Season 2.
Gotta watch Season 2. Season 2 so good.
Yeah, check that out.
But yeah, it's coming March 5th, so it's just gonna be in a couple weeks. Very excited.
Cool.
And in the last little bit of Disney Plus news, Josh Peck is going to star in the Turner and Hooch reboot.
Okay.
He's gonna be Turner is gonna be a U.S. Marshal this time instead of whatever police department he was with before.
So like Hooch's dog? Puppy?
Hooch is a dog.
No, I meant, is it gonna be Hooch's puppy?
I don't think it's going to be connected.
Oh, it's like a completely remake. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be.
No, this is like a sequel.
No, I doubt it.
Gotcha. Okay.
I doubt it.
Okay.
But,
did the dog talk in Turner and Hooch?
No, he's just a dog.
Okay, I forgot.
No, they didn't go crazy with it. It was just hey, Tom Hanks found the dog.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite bits from the interview he did on the Nerdist, where he loves when people come up to him and talk about, you know, some of the things that aren't like Forrest Gump or Saving Private Ryan. And he said he got a letter once that was talking about Turner and Hooch. And he said, "Dear Mr. Hanks, I was flipping through TV the other day and I saw Turner and Hooch was on. And I'm sure Hooch is dead by now, but I just want you to know I really love that movie." And it's just like, that's about as honest of sentiment as you can get, really. Like,
you think anyone sends him letters about mazes and monsters?
Not serious ones, no.
Man.
Yeah, that was a
Wasn't
movie.
that like a propaganda movie about how Dungeons and Dragons was bad?
Because it was riding that wave of when there was that hysteria in the 80s. Dungeons and Dragons is Satan, and your kids are going to be evil, and they're all going to die, and this is terrible.
They're going to kill a homeless man, like in the movie.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, hey, it's nonsense. Yeah. But, what are you going to do?
Man, we were stupid. Humanity has been stupid for a very long time.
I was going to say were.
Yeah, like it just seems like oh yeah, we can never catch it while it's happening. It seems like, or at least some people do, but they're called stupid, and then years later they're like, oh wait, no, yeah, we got that wrong.
You mean the Earth isn't flat? Like
right, exactly.
Quick, somebody tell AJ Styles.
Oh man, that guy. Yeah. Who do you think's going to the Blood Bowl this year? Who do you think's getting on that flight? Can't be AJ Styles. He's got a way out now because he's injured.
No, he's there. He's going to be there.
No, he's injured. There's no way he could be there.
He's there competing for do I have to pull this up? Because
wait, is this happening like now?
Oh no, it's Thursday. It's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks from Thursday.
So I keep calling it the Blood Bowl, but what's the real name of it?
What's Super Showdown? WWE Super Showdown. Oh yeah, no, there is I'm trying to find the actual name of the thing. It's a gauntlet match. It's for the To Wake trophy, which I have no idea what that is. It's a gauntlet match. It's Andrade versus AJ Styles versus Bobby Lashley versus Eric Rowan versus Rusev versus R-Truth.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Brock Lesnar is going to dismember Ricochet. Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin have another match. Goldberg versus Bray Wyatt. And the New Day versus Morrison and The Miz.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Xavier Woods is still injured, though. I guess it's the other two guys. Did you see Greg Miller on backstage?
I did. His promo did run a little long.
Man. Poor Xavier Woods, though. I saw he's left social media for a little bit.
Oh, is he taking a break? Did something happen, or is he just taking
He's a little bummed that he can't wrestle.
Fair enough.
That's the way he put it. He was just like, I'm not in a good headspace, because he's like, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he was basically saying, like, I've been trying to keep busy, and I have been keeping crazy busy, but, like, it really hit him that he's not doing the thing that he loves right now, and so, like, he needed to take a break.
That's fair. I respect that. That's fair.
Yeah. What is this? The crooked commissioner Xavier Woods gives Greg Miller back the Kind of Funny world champion. What is this? 11 months ago. I'm like, wait, is that recent?
No, that was a while back.
Right. The crooked commish. Oh, man. I hope they do more stuff together. I was hoping that, well, I guess he's in Atlanta, they're in San Francisco, but if that he is out for a little bit, I would love to see him mix it up with that world, with Giant Bomb, with Kind of Funny, Rooster Teeth. I feel like he could thrive in that stuff with his up, down, down.
Yeah.
So hopefully his head gets in a better place soon, because I love me some Xavier Woods. And I love that Greg Miller got to do that. I thought that was really cool. It was cool to see those worlds collide. And it's weird now to think that, like, he was on that, and now you have the Giant Bomb always calls Dan Reichert the professional wrestler. The WWE superstar Dan Reichert. You don't listen to Giant Bomb stuff anymore, do you?
No, I never really did.
Oh, dude, I love their stuff. I feel like I could go years without playing video games, but I would still listen to them.
That's fair.
Because their personalities are so good. The East Coast, the West Coast, and he was on the West Coast for a while. Then he went to the East Coast, so it's called the Beast Cast. And so anytime he calls in, like, some guy wrote in about the Mario Party, and that's kind of his thing. He's obsessed with Mario Party, and everyone else on the staff hates it, but he makes them play it.
Okay.
So, someone wrote in about Mario Party or whatever, and so they got WWE superstar Dan Reichert on the phone, and then they start to kind of like try to ask him questions about like the next 2K game, and he goes, I'm all out of time. I will see you guys later. It's like, yeah, they
Fair
immediately
enough.
cut him. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So I don't know. It's funny. It's I don't know. Sorry. didn't mean to go on a sidetrack about Dan Riker.
Hey, if we're nothing if not consistent about the fact that we cannot stay on topic ever.
Yeah, exactly. But that was wild to see. Anyway, WWE. Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah.
I think I've come around to the last pay-per-view. I think you're right about almost everything you were talking about with the Royal Rumble, and I think I was just being too what's the word? I don't know. I was just being super cynical about the whole thing.
Yeah. No,
I think looking back, I think it was a really good Royal Rumble.
It was. It worked really well. I wasn't like Lesnar being dominant for literally half of it is not my favorite thing.
That's what made that. I think I took that and I just like it like ruined the dinner.
That's fair.
If that made sense.
Yeah.
And so looking back, I'm like, you know what? Actually, it was a really good dinner. Probably would have done without those peas on the side.
Exactly. Yeah. But
so.
no, because it's overall, it really was a good show, and the Rumble made sense. The booking choices that they made there really did make sense.
Right.
They may not have been everybody's favorite. God knows they were not my favorite. But the things that they did made sense by the end of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. That's cool. So where were we? Okay. Video games.
Yeah, we have the PlayStation Plus games this month.
Mm-hmm.
The Sims 4, because The Sims has been around for 20 years now.
Yeah, people love it.
How to make you feel old.
Yep.
Firewall Zero Hour, which is a PSVR game,
which
we haven't had as a PS Plus game in a long time.
Yeah.
And BioShock, the collection.
Oh yeah.
Which
I think the real fast, the PSVR, I think moving in transitioning to PlayStation 5, we will see like 2 PlayStation 4 games, a PlayStation 5 game, and a PSVR game. It's kind of like replacing the Vita.
I think it's going to be a 5 game and a 4 game. And
5 game and 4 game. What do you mean?
For PlayStation Now, it's going to be...
Oh, one. Gotcha.
It's going to be a 5 and a 4 and a VR. I think they're going to be fairly even stacked.
You're right. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking with 2 PlayStation. Did they used to have 2 PlayStation 3 games? Maybe I'm misremembering. I think you're absolutely right.
It was usually like a PS4 game or 2, a low-budget PS3 game, and like 2 Vita games that were also cross-play.
Gotcha, okay.
That was it. Like, most of this stuff, like, that was where the PS3 games came from, where they were, like, Vita games that were cross-play capable.
I think they will be high. I think when the PlayStation 5 comes out, I think the PlayStation 4 games will be, like, eventually God of War and stuff like that. Every once in a while. I think every once in a while you're going to get an Uncharted 4.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no question. I mean, God of War is on PlayStation Now.
Right. I think that, and we're hitting that point in video games, I think, and I guess people thought this for generations, but I really think we're hitting that plateau where the games are going to look the same, but just feel different. It's gonna be a higher frame rate and loading screen and stuff like that.
Right.
I think the PlayStation 4 games are gonna look so good still on PlayStation 5.
Oh no, I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
So these are gonna be really great. Oh yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for the next gen. I'm excited about Xbox again. I want to see the new Halo. I'm pumped.
Yeah, no, I'm stoked. It'll be fun to see where that goes.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for that price point, man. I wasn't rumor had it that Sony was gonna have a thing in February, an announcement for all of this.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, well, you would think they would have sent out invitations sooner. It's already the 11th. That's the only problem I see having with it.
Yeah,
they gotta let these companies know like weeks ahead of time to, hey, get on a flight to San Francisco for our show. I don't know.
It's hard to tell anymore. You know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll find out. I actually think we're gonna hear from Xbox first.
Yeah. Well, see, I thought the next thing we were going to hear from Xbox would be E3. I figured it was going to be Xbox kind of going, hey, here we are. This is what it looks like. We didn't get a price.
Yeah.
then I thought the next. I think that's what Sony's waiting for. They're waiting for that price.
I think so.
Every rumor thing that I've looked at, and again, they're all just rumors, is that Sony has the 1 terabyte SSD drive in it, and they're waiting to find out what Xbox is putting in it and the price point, because I would love it if they put the 2 terabyte in there for SSD and sold it at a cost, knowing that it's Sony. They're going to make a shit ton of money back.
Yeah.
But I'm fearing that it's going to be either 1 terabyte, or if they do 2, it's going to be too much money.
It would have to be. I mean, a 2 terabyte solid drive is
It'd be north of $600 easy for that.
And
or maybe they do 2 models. Maybe they do the 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, and the one model is 500, and the other one's way higher. I don't know.
I could see that. I could see a 5. I could see 2 SKUs. I could see a 5 and a 600.
I'd love it to be 400. I don't know how they would do that on Earth, but with everything they're talking about putting in it.
Yeah, because the tech is not. I mean, in 3 years that tech price point will make sense, but that's in 3 years.
Exactly. They're talking about ray tracing and all this. Like, you couldn't build a computer for under 500 in your wildest dreams with what they're saying they're putting in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The SSD drive alone is at least $100. The SSD for the terabyte. Yeah, I don't know. It's wild. I can't wait to see. And also, Nintendo, I want to see what this rumored Pro. They got to do something now that these 2 new consoles are coming out.
Yes and no. Like,
do you do a Switch 2 or do you do a Pro? What would you do
a Pro.
If you were Mr. Nintendo?
Yeah, I would just do an upgrade. I would just do a Pro.
Do you go the Apple route with this at this point? Do you go, hey, you're in our ecosystem. If you got the Pro, it is a significantly higher console. You can play your older games on it, but there might be some newer games for just the system alone.
No.
You don't go that route?
I don't think so, no.
So you just make it a Pro?
I think so, yeah.
But then who do the studios make the games for? For both?
What do you mean?
Like, that's the problem with releasing a Pro, is that now if you're making the next Pokemon game, you're making it for the regular system, not the Pro. So when the Pro gets it, it might look nicer on a nice screen, and the RAM inside of the screen might be better, but you're still making a game based on a system that is 5 years old.
I don't think the Switch is going to get any prettier from a handheld standpoint.
Every time I look at the screen of the Switch, I'm like, God damn, this should be an OLED screen. My Vita's OLED, my iPhone's OLED. It is just night and day different with the Switch's screen.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I'm not saying it needs to be an OLED screen, but those are some of the things that a handheld system, I think, would just be. For example, the problem with the Switch I see having, especially with third party, is they're able to get away with it right now with putting Doom on it and Witcher, which is insane, but it's also running very fantastically. But going into next gen, that's going to be impossible. You're not going to be able to have the same experience with PlayStation 5 and Xbox whatever games on the Switch, if that makes sense.
Right. I mean, it's basically always been Nintendo's problem is ports are substandard because the hardware is substandard. I mean,
and it's substandard now. It's going to be crazy substandard then. So, personally, I don't know what I would do because the Switch is doing great.
I think you just continue to improve on the Switch. I think the Switch is a proven concept, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I just don't see people outside of Nintendo first. I guess it's going to be an indie machine. That's, I guess, where it thrives.
Yeah.
And I'm not hating on that. That's most of my games on the Switch are indie games because one, they're cheaper. I feel like my Switch library is huge, but a lot of them are $5-10 games, $15. I have a ton of party games on there that I play with my friend and her kids, like Ultimate Chicken Horse. I think I've talked about on here before. It's such a fun little indie game, and it was $5.
Yeah.
On sale. So, I don't know. I'm just curious. I'm curious what Nintendo does next. If they do because the Wii U was a Wii 2. I'm wondering if they do that again with the Switch.
The Wii U was a Wii.5. Let's be honest.
Okay, so I guess that's what I'm saying is, do you make a Switch 2? Because to me the Switch is everything I've wanted from Nintendo, because I've always said this. I'm on their mobile side. I've always loved their handhelds more, and I know I'm the outlier on that. I know most people like their consoles. They think of the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, the GameCube, the Wii. I've always loved the Game Boy Advance, the DS. Like the mobile games have always been, I've loved them more. And so when they did this with the Switch, it was perfect for me. So I'm curious if they continued down that road and make it a hybrid console.
It will be interesting to see just what they do.
Yeah, or if they do Switch 2, which is handheld, and then something else for console. I don't know. That'd probably be too confusing.
Yeah, I don't think you split it. I think if you go back to splitting it, it's just going to be bad.
That's true. Or do you bring back the Game Boy name? I don't know. I'm just curious what Nintendo's going to do next.
Yeah.
I love what they're doing so far. Animal Crossing comes out pretty soon.
It's next month, right?
Yeah, definitely. So, anyway, where were we? The third game that we didn't talk about.
We mentioned The Sims.
No, the BioShock.
Oh, BioShock the Collection, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So, have you played BioShock Collection?
Oh, yeah.
See, that was a series I only played like a couple hours of the first and third, but I downloaded the other day. I'm definitely going to play through this probably one Sunday, or, start it.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely want to go through that collection.
Worth the non-existent price of admission, for sure.
Exactly. This is a game where I want to shut all the lights off, play it at midnight.
Yep.
And go through it. So
one is very creepy. Two is okay. Two is one of those that gets a lot of crap just because it's not as good as the first one. It's decent. It's fine. But it's not amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not itself the end of the world.
Yeah.
And three is fantastic. 3 is great.
Yeah. Cool.
But definitely worth it. PS Now games for this month. They've added The Evil Within. Very cool. Lego Worlds. Okay. And Cities Skylines. So.
Cool.
Xbox games with gold for this month were announced. They have a motorcycle game, TT Isle of Man, for the entire month. They have Call of Cthulhu, which runs from February 16th to March 5th. They have Fable Heroes as one of the... I think this is one of the backwards compatible games. Runs from the 1st through the 15th. So if you want that, go get it now.
Cool.
And from the 16th to the 29th is the original Star Wars Battlefront.
Cool.
But so yeah, if that's your thing, a couple of the BioWare we've got a couple pieces of BioWare news. Couple of the original devs, James Olin, who worked on KOTOR, and Chad Robertson, who was one of the pipeline kind of software engineers, if I remember right. Like, one of the guys made sure everything ran smooth in terms of transferring within the studio. One of the pipeline technicians, I think, are heading up a new studio called Archetype Entertainment from Wizards of the Coast, all places.
Yeah.
So, more Dungeons and Dragons games on the horizon.
Yes, absolutely.
Which means they will not be around for this revamp of Anthem. Did you read the post that BioWare put up? Their blog post? They basically... my favorite line was basically where they didn't just throw EA and the deadlines that they had set and the way they had run this. They didn't just throw that under the bus. They then backed the bus over it, parked it on them, and got off to go drink at a bar.
I guess I didn't read the article, but I did see what you're talking about.
The post... The blog post is very we hear you, we understand, we're going to be working on this. They talk about they're not going to do seasons anymore. There's going to be new content, but their main focus is going to be on this revamp. It's going to be like Destiny all over again. Where it was like, hey, the first build did not work. We need to, start over, essentially. And there is a line in their post where they talk about, we really would have loved to have been able to make a game the first time, but we weren't able to.
Right.
And it's very not a veiled, EA made us push this out before we felt it was ready.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, here's the thing though. What do you do? To me, you kill this game.
I disagree.
And I think that, and I guess it makes sense that they want, for greed, they want to get money out of it for the work that they put in, but I totally get that. But I don't know. To me, this is one of the problems with games as a service, is that when they fail, they're not allowed to just die and move on to the next project. It's like they came out there with this 10-year-long plan, waving their dicks like their Destiny, and it didn't just fail. Like, it was abysmal. Like, you can go get this game for like $3 at Walmart.
Yeah.
Fail. And the problem is now they're hoisting it up like it's Weekend at Bernie's. We're gonna bring it back. It's not dead yet, guys. Stick with us. And I would much rather than put their focus on anything else. Dragon Age, move some of their team to Dragon Age, hell, a KOTOR, something else. No one plays Anthem. No one was excited about Anthem. They lied about Anthem from the beginning. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn because I'm not a fan of the game. I'm sure there are people out there that like the game and that feel burned out because they already bought it with this promise. But maybe we shouldn't promise this stuff anymore. Maybe these studios should focus on the first year, not 10 years. I don't know. I just, when I see this, I'm just like, that's great. That's good for them. But looking at BioWare, looking at Blizzard, looking at Bethesda, like how these companies have fallen. It's insane.
Yeah, fair
Blizzard
enough.
can't even put out a remake of the game that saved their company. And it be even remotely a success. It's not like they down what that website it's like 0.5 or something crazy low.
Yeah.
And it's not just like an entitled gamer thing. It was like they actively lied to the consumer and said, "Here's what you're getting." They had the trailer on the website till just a few days ago, well after the launch, of basically saying, "Here's the game we're giving you." And then when people loaded it up, they go, "Oh shit! It says on the website there's 4 hours of new cutscenes." And there's 2 cutscenes that they redid. The 4 minutes. And I don't know. I just see these companies, and Blizzard because of Activision, and Anthem because of EA. Like, there's a pattern here.
That's where my argument in this lies, because I'm on BioWare's side. I want them to succeed because I feel like they did have a vision.
Well, here's the thing, real fast. This is what happened with Destiny, but they got away from Activision. BioWare did not get away from EA. They're still at their house.
They are, but I mean, they were still. Destiny was still an Activision property when it was remade, though.
Yeah, absolutely. But they haven't had a chance really to show what's next yet. The first out of the gate was go, all right, base game's free, and the only thing you have to pay for now is the expansion. And now we're gonna have seasons. They retooled most of how you level up in that game. It's still a lot of bullshit, but it's not. It was, I don't know. It was way more accessible now than it was then, I guess.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, Destiny's a success story compared to this, though. This and a success story, I'm saying in quotes, and I know no one can see, but at the same time, though, it's still one of those, like, Destiny was a problem from the beginning.
Right.
It had problem after problem after problem after problem, and it all ties into what we're talking about with this, where the studio's getting involved. And I mean, when they pushed Destiny out, it didn't even have like a main story. Like, it was all bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with Anthem. And that's one of the things from this thing, is they didn't talk about the story once.
They did, though.
Maybe I didn't read the right article.
They read. Go find the actual post that BioWare put up.
Yeah, I didn't see anything about them going back and
they do address it. They do. I'll pull this thing up. But
perfect.
That's what I mean. Like, this is BioWare saying, look, we made a game. We had a vision. We had an idea. And we were not allowed to do this thing.
Mhm.
So we are going to fix this. We are going to revamp this. We are going to make this game the way we wanted to make it. 1 year ago, we were preparing to launch Anthem, blah, blah, blah. Exhilarating, terrifying experience. Been a thrill for us to see the creativity in our players. Proud of the work this team has put in the game. So much more we and you would have wanted from it. The team has worked hard to improve stability, performance, blah, blah, blah. Heard feedback. Anthem needs more satisfying loot experience, better long-term progression, and a more fulfilling endgame. Still more fundamental work to be done. Will require a more substantial reinvention than an update or expansion. Coming months, we'll be focusing on a longer-term redesign of the experience, specifically working to reinvent the core gameplay with clear goals, motivating challenges, and progression with meaningful rewards. To do that properly, we'll be doing something we'd like to have done more of the first time around, give a focused team the time to test and iterate, focusing on gameplay first.
See, they didn't mention story at all. All of that is gameplay and mechanics, but not one time did they mention anything about the universe, the story, what's supposed to get you in. I get the mechanics and gameplay is key. That's the thing that's going to keep people staying, but not one time did they mention what I think BioWare is great at, is telling a good story.
I mean, fair enough, I guess.
And that's the troubling thing about that. I don't think I read the right article, but I remember seeing like a tweet or something, and I'm like, I don't see them. They're basically just saying we're revamping how you're going to play this game, not what the game is and the story in it, the lore. The when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh shit, this looks like Iron Man. Like, this looks neat. Whoa. And it was nothing. It was just so, it was just came out limp. It was just dumb. And I don't know. I'm torn with this. I totally agree with you, actually, that I want BioWare to make this a comeback story, kind of like, what was the studio that did what was that PlayStation game that was not only just a PlayStation game but it came out on everything else? No Man's Sky.
Yes,
like, yeah. I want this totally to be a No Man's Sky, but I don't know how you do that with Anthem. What is even Anthem except for flying around to random little points? And I
want to give BioWare the benefit of the doubt because they're BioWare. I have faith in BioWare. I have no faith in EA at all.
I see this as a wasted. I'd rather them focus on I want them to go back to a single player story, I guess.
I agree with you.
And I feel like this is just a waste of money and time, and it's a great idea and it's nice. I like that they said that, but
yeah, I feel like this is BioWare saying that they had a vision for this game, and damn it, they're going to see this vision. This is about people who created something, and for whatever reason, it was taken away from them. And so they want this. They're not satisfied with what's happened with their vision, so they're going to fix it.
I hope I ate my words. I hope in a year from now we both own the game and play it, but I don't see that happening.
It would be nice.
I want Dragon Age. Like, I'm clamoring for that.
Yeah.
But I'm not for this. Oh, and then we just heard word about KOTOR and thoughts of that coming back and how exciting that is. And for the love of God, I would rather BioWare be like, you know what, Anthem didn't work. Yeah. Let's let it die and let's move on to something people are excited for, because I want people to be excited for BioWare again. And holding on to this, I don't know. Did you see also that what's his name from Xbox went to Blizzard?
I did, yeah, I saw that. I can't remember his name offhand, but yeah.
Rod Ferguson, he was the guy that was in charge of the Gears stuff. I guess he's been known as like a fixer for the game industry. And he's going on to join and oversee the Diablo franchise, which is good news. I mean, Blizzard's been a trash fire for so many reasons. I'm just, man, if you can't tell the last 10 minutes, I'm just so beaten. I feel beaten because I'm watching these companies that made games that I've loved for so long just become just trash fires.
Yeah, but they'll come. BioWare will come back. Blizzard will come back. It will take time.
I hope.
But they will come back.
I hope. I want them all to. I want Bethesda to be great. I want all of these companies to be fantastic, and to. But but there is the pro. It's. I get it. They want to make money. Like, you know. It's capitalism. Like, well, what can you do?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I wish they still had some bit of art to them that made them like the people playing the game should come first and not their wallets. And I think unfortunately these companies have totally lost sight of that. And it sucks when you see people like, you know, Metzen and them just leave, and it's like, we need you. Like, this is when we need you the most. But I don't know. We'll see. This is where I guess I should say play more indie games, like, because that's where you can get that kind of stuff.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you get that kind of art still, where it's not trying to. It's wild. I don't know. I'll stop. I'll stop my rant. Yeah. But anyway, where were we? PS Now games.
Talked about them. I think.
Oh yeah, we went to Anthem. That's right. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. One question I wanted to ask you about the Xbox stuff I was thinking about.
Sure.
I have the Game Pass. None of these involve with the Xbox games for gold, right?
Right. Two different things.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because anytime I put up Game Pass, I'm like, I'm not getting any of these gold games. But I guess you have to have both.
Well, and you have both.
Do I?
If you get Game Pass Ultimate, comes with both.
So I do have it.
Yeah, you should.
So when I boot it up right now and I'm looking at Game Pass, so these games...
Game Pass as a service does not include games with gold, but your membership should be Game Pass Ultimate, which includes games with gold, but it is a separate screen than Game Pass. They're two different libraries.
So how do I pull up the games with gold library on my PC?
That I don't know.
Right?
I don't know about PC. I can't.
So that's for Xbox.
Yeah, as far as I know.
So the thing I have is, if I had an Xbox, I would have these games.
Yes.
Gotcha. Do I have to claim them like with PlayStation?
Yes.
Can I do that without an Xbox? Like you can with PlayStation?
I'm not sure.
I need to start doing that then.
That would be something to look into. Look into it and let us know.
Definitely.
That I don't have an answer for that at all.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, I got 2 missed messages. Oh, my buddy from a long time ago. Cool. I'll hit him back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Call him up.
Awesome.
Remember when EA games didn't suck?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Remember when BioWare weren't sellouts?
This is my buddy from high school. He's like, hey, fucker, call me. Oh, wow, I didn't even realize. Cool. I guess he can see him online. I didn't even know that either. Xbox is wild.
Yeah, it is.
Cool. I didn't even know it had a built-in chat with the Game Pass stuff, but yeah, it's social tool right there, so that's cool. I was friends with like 2 people on Xbox. That's cool. That would have been. I guess it's funny. He probably was like, "Whoa, I haven't seen this guy in a while."
Yeah.
What's he doing playing Halo? Yeah.
Probably playing Halo.
Yep. Cool. I think that's it. Do we have any other news?
No, I think that covers it.
Cool, man. Well, hey, we'll be back next week. Maybe let's talk about the what we're gonna do with My Hero. Do you want to watch 3 episodes?
I will try. I'm going to Daytona this week, so I got a long trip ahead of me.
You know what? No, we won't do that then. You have fun. We'll be back next week. Or wait, when are you coming back?
I'll be back in time to do one next week, but I won't really have done anything. So maybe we'll just go ahead and plan for next week off.
Okay, yeah, we'll just do that, and then we'll talk, see if maybe you want to do some episodes after that. But yeah, enjoy yourself. We'll take a week off. We'll be back after that, and we'll have a ton to talk about. I promise you I will get out of the world of Azeroth at some point. It's got its grips in me, those pandas and those... man, dude, I just went to MegaCon real fast. I just went to MegaCon, which is basically a Mad Max island, and all of these gnomes have tried to get rid of the curse of flesh, so they basically put mechanical arms and... Sorry, I'll stop. But it's been a fucking blast, and they're all Looney Tunes, and it's so good. I love this game. But anyway, sorry. We'll stop talking about that. We'll be back in 2 weeks. And yeah, we'll have a ton more to talk about. We'll definitely both finish Parasite, probably watch some My Hero Academia, and we'll get into that. So again, make sure you go to our Facebook, We Geek Podcast, Twitter at We Geek Podcast, at the Logan Witt, at Adam Estep. Email address wegeekpodcast@gmail.com. We are on Spotify. We are on YouTube. We are on everything, Apple, Android podcast. We'll see you next week, Captain.